All right. Oh, you was about to cough, wasn't you?
I'm trying not to all the time.
Well, if you got a cough, you got a cough. It's like if you got a fart. Don't hold it in. If you do, you'll explode.
Oh, I'm gonna let some rip tonight.
That's what I always heard as a kid. Like if you hold it in, you're gonna blow
Might
up.
get some microphone. Get it on microphone.
No, we're not doing the Howard Stern shit. All right. So, what's up, everybody? We're gonna open this up with a nice radio-friendly voice. It's me. It's Dante. We got Steve here across from me. And to my left, we got Neppers.
Neppers. It's so cute.
You got to be in, like, look, we'll keep you out of the rough topics. But if you talk, you got to get up on that mic. So, how's everybody been? How you been? How you feeling, Steve? Since, how's everything feeling?
95% better.
Good.
I got this pain right here in my, not pain, but feels like a cough in your chest that won't go away.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
And it's dry, so when I cough, nothing happens. It's freaking annoying. And every once in a while, I'll do a cough that sounds like I'm dying. And then I'm back to normal. My voice sounded like I drank like 40 cups of whiskey this weekend at work.
That's solid.
I like when I have that raspy voice.
How's the brain fog?
Oh, that's good. I didn't have any dreams again where I was telling people to do the finishing move.
Dude, I don't know what I was dreaming last night, but that shit felt too real, and it was so scary. That was a legit nightmare. It wasn't this house though. We owned a different house. Maybe I started watching a fucking series on Netflix, The Watcher, which I haven't gotten. I only watched one episode. It's fine. But I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm fucking all blitzed right now. But I went to bed last night like maybe 3, and I woke up at 4. I was like sweating. I was like, I looked. I was like, okay, the fuck was that all? I can't even remember what it was about, but I know I was terrified. I don't think I was being chased by anybody, but I think some fucking fuck shit happened. I couldn't even imagine what it was, but I was pretty fucking rattled by it. Then I went back to sleep, woke up later, went to work, got questioned because I wasn't doing the task, and then here I am. He can fuck off for all I care too, that guy.
You got to complete your task. You should be like, I completed my quest.
Like, you can suck my task nuts. So, that's how I'm feeling.
And well, cheers.
Cheers.
Monday. What do you do on Monday? You drink beer.
Yeah. I put up our whatchamacallit, spirit animal video from that dude on Instagram.
Yeah, he's our mascot.
I don't know what the fuck his name is. I don't know anyone's social media names.
Well, his name looks like it says Cut the Activist, which I don't know what that means.
I don't know. Maybe his name's Cut.
That's a tight name.
Okay,
Cut.
so, I mean, if he's cutting motherfuckers, I guess. I don't know.
Like,
It's tight. It's tight.
He has razor blades in his pocket.
And then our guest. How you feeling, my friend? You got to get up on that mic.
I'm good. How are you guys?
Solid. I mean, you know how we're doing. We just told you. It's not like an automatic work response. I'm good. How are you? Like, no. I just told you how it was.
That's like when you ring something up at the store and you think you're going to say, like, how are you? And you're like, I cash or credit. I'm good.
Someone did that to me out somewhere. Like, I didn't say anything to them. They were like, I'm good. I was like, I didn't.
Or like when, this one's a big one at the gym, when they're like, have a good workout. And you're like, you too.
Or that meme that the kids they're like, how do you want your eggs? Laid?
No, he said hatch. He said hatched. Yeah, he looked confused as hell. That's one of my favorite ones because you could tell. I can remember being the first time asked that and not knowing what to say because my mom just made eggs when you're a kid. You didn't. Yeah. I didn't know there was choices, and I didn't know what they're called. Anything besides scrambled. So for years, when someone said, "How do you want your eggs?" it took me off guard, and I just say scrambled because that was the only thing I knew. Even though I wanted it. I called it a dipping egg, but I knew that wasn't the name. That's what my mom called it.
I still don't know what the eggs are.
Yeah, that kid, when he pauses, he's like, hatched. And his dad takes a second, hatched.
This is solid. It's not terrible.
It's got some benefits.
It tastes a little different than what I was expecting. It's not bad.
It's one of those, so Tripel, so it's got some spice. You want to sample it?
I'm good.
Yeah, the spice is what's kind of fucking with me. So, not in a bad way. Um, so anyhow, yeah, we're back. So let's go ahead and get into the NFL. Let's talk about the Ravens.
You don't want to start the Commanders? We played Thursday.
Fuck them. Like, we already know they suck. Let's talk about the Ravens.
I just want. All right, we'll go back
No,
to that.
no, we'll get to them. I just want to talk about the Ravens.
So I did watch this game in its entirety. First off, and I listened to Ravens radio after, which was hilarious. They now think like they have major problems and they need a new coach, they need a new quarterback. They're right to not sign Lamar right now because he's terrible. We'll say they choked a little bit. Lamar made a terrible decision. But people are failing to remember the play in its entirely because all I hear is how he never should have thrown that interception. Can we also mention the center snapped the ball over his head?
Yeah.
And Drake was lined up wrong, which is what caused that. He was distracting Lamar. That's not mentioned by anybody. But, yeah, Lamar panicked and threw the ball as soon as he picked it up.
That's always the thing.
He could have just took a sack or threw it out of bounds, and they punted, and they're in a better spot.
Like, that's always the thing, though. Everyone wants to put everything on the quarterback. If the defense is playing pissy, blame it on the quarterback.
We do have to mention this. Baya drafting Drake. Drake went off 120 yards and a touchdown off 5 carries.
One game.
He had like 6 carries for 120. It was something ridiculous.
He's not going to win that game.
But regardless, this was the 1 week she didn't start him, and he scored like 20. He might have been 30 points.
She could have started him. I stomped a mud hole in her and walked it dry.
Yeah, 10 carries for 119. He looked good though. J.K. Dobbins, on the other hand, looked terrible. I had him. He had maybe 1 point.
Sounds very Dobbins of him.
15 yards.
So a point.
So, I mean, Drake could end up being a good pick after all if he keeps playing.
Yeah, I mean,
but yeah, if you
early as fuck.
The other thing I want to defend Lamar with is who the hell is he throwing to besides Andrews? Well, if you watch that game, his receivers are terrible.
So at the picnic for work, one of the guys, I saw him sitting over at the table by himself with his phone. I sat next to him, was like, I already know what time it is. What the score looked like. He was like, well, they're up, whatever it was. And I was like, it's not hateful. He was like, yeah, but they blew a big lead. They're up 20-10. I was like,
yeah, their defense has blown a lot of leads this year.
And then just as I sit down, that's where Lamar he's scrambling and throws an interception. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and go play tennis with my daughter. Like, maybe I caused this. And then as he's leaving, like, not too much later, he goes, yeah, Ravens, they blew it. They lost. I tried to seem concerned, like, oh, man, fuck, again? I was like, yep, got to do something about Lamar. I was like, yeah, no, you don't.
Yeah. If you really look at Lamar's stats, he was almost leading the league in passing and rushing touchdown. Yeah. I mean, passing touchdowns and like 5th in rushing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, this is the biggest thing of the Ravens I don't get is who has worse receivers than the Ravens? There's no team with worse receivers than them. Duvernay is like a friggin' 4 on most teams. He's not good.
That's generous.
Master Bateman. He's not very good, and he's
probably
hurt.
Probably a 3 on most teams.
Andrews is beast. And then they had another tight end they were playing. He dropped every time he caught the ball. It was a freaking review because he couldn't catch the ball.
Yeah, that was something else my coworker said too. He was like, he's got to learn to throw it to someone else besides Andrews.
Who?
Okay.
They don't get open. I mean, these guys are not talented receivers at all.
When was the last time the Ravens actually had like?
Hollywood was okay, but he was a big play.
Well, I mean, yeah, like a legit like consistent receiver. You can go to him. It's not the bomb.
Anquan Bolden. Steve Smith.
Yeah. I mean, so we're talking what 10 years?
Yeah, Steve Smith was wild.
This fucking sucks.
Do you want any more of this? We drank it so fast.
No,
I've got 2 of these. So.
I'm good. But thank you. I got a box of wine over here. I started thinking about my boxes of wine. This is like an adult Capri Sun.
You know they do have adult Capri Suns. I've never had one.
I know, but
I was like, that kind of looks neat.
It seems neat, but I just want to fucking get drunk. I'm not really concerned with drinking out of a Capri Sun bag.
Oh,
I
those
think,
things sucked putting the straw in.
did we talk about this on here? I know I've talked about it before with the milk in the plastic bags when I was in Delaware. Like our milks
I don't
came
think
in
we talked
plastic
about
bags.
it, but I know in the Philippines, like everything comes in those plastic bags.
It's
Like you get a soda, they give you the bag.
I remember when I got to Delaware, and it was a new thing. They were just doing it there, but I think it started in Philly, and we're like an hour away. And I remember sitting down and just looking at that shit, and I was so confused. I didn't know what to do. 'Cause you know, you got to squeeze the bag and then puncture the straw in. I didn't know that. So I was like, I remember just not drinking milk for the longest time. Even though I see other kids doing it, I was just like, I'm not doing this. And then if you got white milk and using the bag, it's just, there's something off-putting about that shit. Like, chocolate milk's the way to go regardless. Like, even if you're out after the bar at Double T, you gotta always get your chocolate milk.
You ever hear that story? Aaron? Our old friend, Bobo.
Yeah, you can go with that.
We're at the diner after a
You
night
can
of
still talk
drinking.
to the mic.
What, 2 a.m. probably?
Yeah, it was definitely two.
We order our drinks, nothing normal, but usually you just do have to go to water or you just say Coke.
Coke. Yeah. Coke or water.
Bobo goes, y'all got chocolate milk? The waitress like looks at him like, yeah, I'll have that. It's just like then we just start dying laughing. Like, you wanted chocolate milk, and he's like, what's wrong with that? Like nothing. You're like a kid.
I mean,
He's like, I want chocolate milk.
nothing wrong with
Night
it.
of
got it.
drinking, that sounds good.
But yeah, either
There
way.
was nothing wrong with it, but it was just a shocker.
Yeah,
You
it was-
weren't because again, 2 a.m. Everyone's just the default. Whether you want it or not, you just be like Coke.
Yeah, it is weird that like you want chocolate milk after drinking. Like that's a wild like option. Like your go-to is chocolate. I wonder if like that was his go-to when he got home.
Yeah, some people are trying to crush some water before they get to bed. Maybe some soda to try to avoid the hangover. This man was crushing chocolate milk, getting some yoo-hoo. I could see him getting yoo-hoo.
Yoo-hoo was suspect. My wife liked Yoo-hoo.
Yo, yoo-hoo's tight.
Yoo-hoo was tight when I was fucking 4. Then when I got older and I had Yoo-hoo, I was like, this is fucking
Yoo-hoo
shit.
was like chocolate water.
Yeah, it was shit. It was Dookie water. So yeah, the Ravens suck. Let's go to the next game.
Let's go to Commanders.
All
Since I don't have anything in front of me. But yeah, that was the Thursday game. As bad as last Thursday's game with the Broncos and who was it?
The Colts.
Yeah. God damn, that was bad. This one topped it. And a lot of people were predicting that. We're like, oh, you think that was bad? Wait till you see the Bears in Washington.
I think this week's supposed to be pretty bad too.
So yeah, just this game was one of the few wins I've had where now I think we're the worst team in the league, despite winning. They dominated us in every way. They not get a first? They went for a 4th and 1 on the goal. They didn't get that. I think twice, because at the end of the game, we only scored, our only drive got touchdowns because they muffed the punt and we went 5 yards and scored a touchdown. Carson Wentz threw for less than 100 yards. Our run game was complete garbage. It was like 2 yards a carry with Robinson. Gibson did all right, didn't he?
I mean,
Gibson was at 7 a carry. But yeah, Brian Robinson, 17 carries for 60 yards. Not too impressive.
I mean,
Carson Wentz, yeah, exactly 99. 12 for 22. But on Fields, okay, I'll say this, watching that game. The Bears coach is an idiot. They should be running an offense similar to Baltimore.
when was the last time the Bears had a coach that wasn't an idiot?
Yes.
Lovie Smith?
So is this his first? Yeah, this is his first year. So I'll
Yeah.
give him this. He didn't draft Fields.
Don't care.
It's
Figure it out.
still something. But yeah,
Figure it
he's
out.
trying to make him a pocket quarterback, and Field is clearly not a pocket quarterback. So
'Cause he went
his
to
short
Ohio.
throw accuracy, I don't know what his rating in Madden is, but it should be 30. He had that 1 3-yard touchdown wide open and overthrew the guy that was 3 yards in front of him. But yeah, he doesn't look good. He does have a good deep ball, and he runs really well, which you run that kind of offense where like Lamar runs.
It's like saying the black guy speaks really well. It's
And
fucked up.
no, that's the truth of him. Look at his numbers. What was it?
I mean, he went to Ohio State, so that's all I'm gonna say. When was the last time they had a good quarterback?
Haskins.
Really? Where's he at now?
That's rude.
What? He would have been in Pittsburgh behind Trubisky.
Mm.
And behind Pickett? Pickens?
It's confusing because they got Pickett and Pickens.
What's his first name?
So what a combination, though, if they start hitting both of them. Pickett to Pickens.
Oh, hey. I don't know if this was real or not because of the internet. Did dude in Carolina get traded to Arizona?
Yeah. That actually might be a good pickup. And I had him. I just dropped him.
I had him too and dropped him.
So, yeah, Robbie Anderson to the Cardinals. Which Robbie Anderson's one of those guys, he can be good. He started off week 1 real good. He's quick. He's tiny as hell. Dang, so they got
So
Hollywood
Deshaun,
Brown in him. That
Jackson.
actually could be good.
He was little. So was Steve Smith.
Deshaun's still not retired. He still thinks he gave his list of teams he wants to play for the other week.
T.O. also said he wanted to come back too.
Yeah, it's kind of funny when no one wants you, but you give your list of teams you want to go to.
Like,
yeah, I want to play for Buffalo.
Like Baker was like, I want to play for the Colts. The coach was like, that's funny. Because we don't want you. And then they got Matt Ryan. I was like,
So yeah, Baker looked terrible once again. Apparently he had surgery on his finger. I feel like that might help him.
So didn't Wentz break like his thumb or some shit?
Yeah, I think his finger.
That might help.
That's what I was saying.
I mean,
It can't get worse. He's another one. His short throw accuracy is unbelievably bad. And we throw so many screens. So when your quarterback can't throw screens and we do nothing but screens, I thought it was hilarious how one of the drives actually was one of our better drives. I think we only got a field goal. But it was like all gimmick plays. Like wide receiver reverse. It was just like, damn, we can't run a real offense.
I mean, when that's...
Curtis Samuel was terrible that game, by the way. Like, couldn't catch the ball to save his life. Wentz did throw a touchdown to him that should have been a touchdown. But, yeah, Fields, to me, it looked bad, but it's the coaching. Like, he's not playing the right offense.
Yeah, I think he's the one bright spot on that team.
Why would you have him taking the ball under center? Like, no shotgun. There's no play action for the most part. And I think he's a 4.4 quarterback. Like, he's fast.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, though. It's like...
At least let him run out of the pocket. He wasn't. I mean, he's trying to play like Peyton Manning.
It's like we say with, like, coaches like Harbaugh, Tomlin, and Belichick. They get something.
Yeah, you got to change
Yeah, they'll figure it out.
Yo,
like, you can't force someone.
That just brings me real quick to New England's quarterback.
Oh,
I think Mac Jones is done.
I got something for that in a little bit too.
Yeah, so Justin Fields is a 4.4. They're not.
Yeah,
when he runs though, it's like a broken play. They're not like doing like Lamar, where there's some QB designed runs. But yeah, I think the Bears coach is holding them back.
Yeah. No,
Fields looks like he could be a Lamar type.
I think. Yeah, he's the bright spot on that team right now, it looks like. And they're not doing anything to help that kid.
He has some accuracy issues. But, yeah, he's not running the right offense. Because he throws the ball deep well, so play action opens it up. They weren't doing any play action.
Yeah, I don't know. Bears coach is an idiot, too.
I'm not a fan of our coach either, so... I find myself in this weird predicament of like sort of wanting us to lose so we can get rid of him and then start the rookie with a different coach.
I mean... Get
him ready. I don't want Rivera to coach the rookie, though, because he'll ruin him. He'll start calling him out in the media like, what's the problem with your team, my quarterback?
I mean, I don't know. Like, look, yeah, just lose as many games as you can.
But look at the Giants.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones looked terrible. This dude... What? They're 5-1 now?
Yeah, I like that. Yo, so
despite Daniel Jones.
So what was crazy? Okay.
Oh wait, they might have worse receivers than the Ravens. They're up there. Giants receivers are. I mean, the two that they had are injured.
I was gonna say let's. Can we name a starter from their receiver?
No, Slayton. He wasn't supposed to be a starter.
I was like, yeah, he wasn't supposed.
They have a rookie that's all right. Richie, something like that.
Sure. I'll take your word for it.
Richie James, I believe, is the rookie. Oh my God! If you look at their receiver stats, so they suck.
What team was it? I was looking at something.
Best receiver at 38 yards.
I was looking at some team. It was probably the Giants. I was looking at the receivers, like, for the season, their top receiver. It was like 170 yards. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's going to be the Ravens and the Giants. Carolina is up there too, but Robbie Anderson, I think, had a 100-yard game week 1.
It might have been Carolina. That might have been who it was.
Yeah, they were bad. I mean, I thought I wanted Baker to be good, but yeah, he doesn't look very good.
I think Baker's probably the one quarterback I think collectively we're both like, dude, I want that dude to do okay.
Yeah, because he's funny. I like his personality, but yeah, it's like you're rooting and rooting, then you just realize, yeah, you're not very good.
Well, and that's the thing.
It's almost time like where I don't think you're gonna be good.
When he got drafted, I mean, it wasn't like I guess it was a shelf life for him. Like what, 3 years?
Yeah, he did take Cleveland to the playoffs, which is understated for a team that went like once in 30 years.
No, I mean, damn.
I'm not
No,
big
I mean,
Texas,
no,
but it's like that.
Well, because when the Ravens get here in 96, 95, 96,
Yeah.
and the Browns, I think, were coming off a playoff season then, and they just went to Baltimore.
Then they won a Super Bowl.
But Baltimore don't want to ever give credit to Cleveland for that Super Bowl. They want to be like, oh, yeah, Baltimore. No, that was Cleveland's Super Bowl. They know it to be true.
They had one playoff season, I think, with Derek Anderson. He had that like one good year with dang, what was that receiver they had? He
Which
had
one?
one good year. I don't remember now.
Derek,
It was when Derek Anderson was quarterback.
you talk about Gordon?
Not Gordon, but Gordon. I don't think they went to the playoffs with Gordon.
No, because he can never stay on the team. He's getting high.
Yeah, he's still not retired either.
Well, yeah,
was
he's on
rumored
the
to
team.
be.
He signed because I picked him up. They're like, oh, because he got in the game. I can't remember for who though, but he was in the game this season. He had one target. I was like, oh shit! All right, it's coming to life. I want to see
Anderson. Anderson.
No.
Look up receiver Anderson, Cleveland. And it's probably wrong. It's going to be like Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't matter. They're all fucking wrong anyway.
Yep.
I mean, before 2020, the last time they went to the playoffs was 2002.
What team was that, though? That's who I think it was. That's
Derek
around
Anderson that far back?
I don't think so.
Nah.
there. Who's
Because
the
I
team?
think when did they come back into the league? 'Cause I thought that was their return. Well, I don't know because we got Houston around that time too, and then no, that was it. Houston, and then the Browns got a new team. So I don't fucking know.
When was Carolina in?
In what, the Super Bowl?
So yeah, Derek Anderson, 2007. They went 10-5 in Cleveland.
10-5.
Yeah,
You missing a game? Did they get a tie that year?
maybe he didn't play all the games.
Oh, true.
Yeah, he didn't. He played 15-16.
That's dumb.
So maybe they didn't make the playoffs at 10-6. They probably lost the other game.
That's fucking dumb. Maybe they won. You're doubting that other quarterback.
Well, Aaron said it was 2002.
I thought you said it was 2002. Well, that was a playoff.
Yeah.
But Derek Anderson, I don't think was a quarterback for that team.
No, he wasn't. So they didn't
He's
make the
probably Tim
playoffs
Couch.
that year.
Bingo.
Tim Couch was my boy, son. His name was Couch.
So who was the receiver in 2007? Browns. It was one guy who was real good for like a year or two.
I'm going to pause while we look this up.
Braylon Anderson.
Braylon Edwards, you mean, from
Edwards,
Michigan?
yeah.
Go Blue. Oh, speaking of Go Blue.
Braylon Edwards,
So
right.
we had that game against Penn State, top 10, fucking smashed them, 41-17. Fucking get up in that ass, son. Fuck Ohio State. Fuck those guys. That's all I got. I was still recording.
Braylon Edwards. He was a fantasy darling for a year.
Yeah, no, he had 2 years. He had 2 of them. Because I had them both. It was like, well, I missed him on one. I got him on the other one.
Was back when they used to have? No, never mind. That was before. Remember they had Jamal and Lewis?
Jamal Lewis, yeah.
After.
Yeah.
He had a year or two good with them.
And then they had someone else, though, that fucking had a big single game. It was like, because he said, he was like, oh no, that was when he was with Baltimore, and they were about to play Cleveland. I was like, I don't know, I might mess around and break the single game rushing record. And he did. And then there was Jerome something. He ended up having a big game for the Browns. I felt like that was a couple years down.
It was wild. Priest Holmes wasn't he his backup in Baltimore?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, yeah, it seems about right. Wasn't Priest like fragile though, and I think that's why he was the backup to him though. So
even him, like he didn't have many good years.
No, well, I mean, and most running backs don't.
And then what's his name right after him was huge. Who was after Priest? The other guy.
Ray Rice?
No, huge running back. Larry Johnson.
Right
after Priest. Like he took over, like Priest got hurt, and then Larry Johnson was doing better stats than him. And that was when Kansas City, though, had 2 Hall of Fame offensive linemen.
That's what I was like.
So it's probably a result of their line more than anything. And that's when they had Trent Green.
Yeah.
They're off.
Yeah, that was an offense. Yeah, Dick Vermeil was
They had that one receiver. He would always go late in fantasy and always get like 10 touchdowns at least.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
he was super consistent.
Alexander?
What was his name? Not Alexander.
No, I think that was much earlier. I don't know. Yeah, we're doing a lot of guessing games with the Browns. Fuck the Browns. All right, let's go to the next game. We still got 2 more games we got to get out of this, and then we got to review this beer.
While I'm pulling them up, it's funny. Both Brady and Rodgers lost.
Yeah, I love it.
Are these guys getting
that shit makes
over
my
the
nipples
hill?
hard, dude.
Brady, yeah. Well, Brady seems like something's going on.
No, right? You think that his home life wasn't doing all right. It was fucking weird. Aaron Rodgers, on the other hand, doesn't have a home life. His family hates him.
Does he have a family? Because he seems like he doesn't want a family.
Well, I don't mean like a nuclear family. I mean like things like mom and dad. And like, I don't think he fucks with them like that. That's fucked up, dude.
Let's see what's worth. I want to mention. Okay, we're gonna mention the Green Bay game because the Jets.
Why not?
The Jets killed them.
Look at Zach Wilson out there banging moms and fucking winning games. Didn't have a great game.
Well, I was gonna say he didn't do the. Bryce Hall, on the other hand, damn.
He's banging moms and winning games.
He should be banging moms.
Oh, he probably is. He's out there with Zach on the streets.
Yeah, they're probably going after the week game, just like.
Like, you want to go down?
Zach's like, let me tell you where it's at. You like, think all these young groupies are where it's at?
Let's go to the senior citizen home.
It's the moms.
Yeah, I mean, you got to figure. It's like, some like wild ass lady. I haven't had dick in 70 years.
I feel like it would be really fun to be a Jets fan though right now because you've been bad for so many years. Your team is just stacked full of young players. Their defense is beast. They got 2 beast running backs.
So,
Zach Wilson didn't play
because
good.
They're what are they 4-2? So, yeah, I guess that's right. Because I mean, our teams haven't been good either. It's not fun to be fans.
You know what I mean is though they got a lot of young players, so it looks like the Jets could potentially be turned around. You never know.
Well, that AFC East in general looks like it could be just a really good overall division, just collectively. Because I mean, you got Buffalo doing what Buffalo doing. New England you can never really count New England out.
No, now that they switched quarterbacks, this dude looks like a friggin' Brady on steroids.
All right, let me. All right, let's. I got some things here. So let's get our last couple games out, then review this beer, and I want to go to this one thing.
Just mention Jets shut down Green Bay's offense.
Yeah, that was great.
They only scored 10 points. Let's go New England then. Because it's interesting, this quarterback. I mean, it's worth saying the Eagles beat the Cowboys. But
so I want to just make one note on that. It's like watching 2 bad guys fight. 2 teams that don't deserve the win. And it's like no matter who wins, you're just going to feel like shit. And I hate the Eagles fans. I hate the Cowboys and their fans. And it's like, if the Cowboys win, that's all you're going to hear for the next fucking 3 weeks, no matter what happens down the line. Oh, we them boys, we back. And then Philly wins. And granted, their fans don't really talk a lot of shit that I hear, at least the ones that I know. But they fucking They still
If you're
suck.
at the game, they will.
Oh yeah, they'll try to fight you. They're like,
I would say the good thing if you're a Dallas fan is Cooper Rush just made it clear he shouldn't be starting over Dak after last week.
Dak was
played
like,
terrible.
I'll be back next week against Detroit. Oh yeah, you rushed to come back against
How do you
Detroit.
take out a guy that's never lost? I would keep going with him. And I don't think he turned the ball over but then he looked terrible versus the Eagles.
Oh yeah, every time I looked up, there was an interception. That's when that text was like, "Yo, this dude at halftime has a 1 quarterback rating. He's not number 1. His quarterback rating was 1."
Yeah, just talk about New England now. So ever since Bailey Zapp, is it Zapp or Zappe?
I think it's Zappe or Zap.
Yeah.
It's like Zappe hour.
So this dude's coming in right now. He's now played 3 games. His quarterback rating's 111.
I can dig it.
4 touchdowns, 1 interception total.
Not mad at it.
He threw for 300. I mean, for New England to throw 300 with the way Mac.
It's not like those young Brady numbers when Brady had to step in and it was like, all right, we're just gonna hold the ship.
And that was versus Cleveland. Cleveland's defense, they've been beating some people.
Yeah.
This one stands out. I mean, the Detroit. He beat them. But he was 81% completion on his second game.
That was defense.
But then he's 70% versus Cleveland. Like those are some high ass numbers.
Their defense shut Detroit out, not Bailey. He ain't shut them out.
So this dude is 72% in 3 games. 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, 111 quarterback rating.
It's only 3 games. I mean, you know who looked good in 3 games too? Tony Romo when he first started.
I mean, Jimmy G looked real good for New England.
Yeah, everybody looks good.
Cooper Rush.
Yeah, Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush just ended all the.
So I mean, look, next week might be the game for fucking Zappy. He might get out there and fucking piss down his leg.
But I mean, the way he looks though, the way their offense, because I have Stevenson as running back. Since Zappe's been quarterback, he's been killing them.
I think you dropped him. I picked him up. I was like, I'll grab him.
Well, I have him in another league because I started him.
Yeah, I started him too. And I beat the shit out of your girlfriend. Just so you know.
But
hey, don't come back. Don't come back for revenge.
Wait till she starts starting Drake.
She would have still lost.
Yeah, it was funny watching him blow up and her reaction. Because every week she started him and she would get 1 point, and then she's like, "I knew I should start Drake." I was like, "You can't start Drake though." Like after this last week though, maybe you can.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't
because
hurt.
J.K. Dobbins looked terrible, so I was like, "Oh, Drake."
You don't have a choice,
and to be
really.
fair, Drake was like highly regarded when he left Arizona. Like everyone was wanting him, and then when he went to Baltimore, remember it wasn't late. It wasn't during the preseason. So he's still learning the offense. And from what I hear, he was part of the reason that snap was bad. He was lined up like distracted Lamar. Lamar was like looking at him like, what are you lined up in the wrong spot for?
So I guess maybe he's not all that fucking great.
I mean, you average 10 yards a carry. That's pretty good.
But he can't line up because he's fucking stupid.
I mean, there's balance in everything. It's really weird how everything is balanced, though. It's like NBA. If you're like super tall and strong like Shaq, you can't shoot free throws and you can't dribble.
Yo, I met this lady over the weekend, looked like Angela Bassett, very pretty. Then she started talking, and I was like, "Oh Lord, I'm glad you're pretty."
I don't.
You're sure as fucking smart.
I could be completely wrong, but isn't that the name of the girl in Murder, She Wrote?
Angela Bassett is.
That's a name of somebody.
Angela Lansfield is a. Right. Angela Bassett is a fucking actress, a beautiful one at that.
Okay.
You fucking
Steve, you're thinking of Angela Lansbury.
Yeah, you don't fucking. She just died.
Well, I didn't know y'all were such Angela Lansbury fans.
We're Angela fans.
You guys got posters in a room.
Fucking right. I got an action figure named Angela over there. Like, you dick. Have some respect.
I didn't know you guys were such Murder, She Wrote fans.
You know, you don't know about my past.
That was wild, yo. This lady, she wasn't even an investigator, right?
I don't know.
She just would like follow investigators around and write stories about this shit. That was a wild show. She was always so it paid to be nosy.
She was that old lady that sat on the porch.
She was like the ultimate Karen, but she was helping solve mystery.
Well, that's what we think. Meanwhile, she's fucking putting people in jail for no reason. They out there mowing their lawn, just like he's the one who did it.
Yeah, but she Am I wrong? She wasn't even a detective.
Nah.
She was like a writer, but then would help detectives because she was so good at her writing.
Dude, she like when she I think she was 96 when she passed.
Damn, she
got
made
rest
it.
her soul. I guess I don't know. I'm not. I don't know about that stuff. But it was wild because like damn, she was 96. Yo, she was old when I was a kid though. Yo, she's been old forever. Like Steve Martin's had white hair forever.
It's like my grandmother lived to 100. Since I was born, she pretty much looked the same. Of like that soup, like the hunched over gray hair from almost. So I guess she died last year. So like 41 years of my life, she looked basically the same of an old lady.
Yeah, my grandma's kind of in that. Like my grandma, she still looks relatively youthful. She's like 92, but she's always looked kind of the same from when I was a little kid.
And now that I think about it, that would be like 60 to 100.
Yo, you know what's wild is like when I was a kid, and even still to this day, my grandma's like, she goes get her hair done. I was like, Grandma, you got to fade. What you doing, son? Like, let me get this
hit up the
on
Columbia barber shop. It's
But,
only
like-
$10.
Like, yeah, it was like, why are you paying so much for a haircut, Grandma? Like, you're just shaving it like me. Like, I got clippers right now. I can do this for you. I probably couldn't though. I can barely. Shave
I was
my head.
fading my hair. I think I was doing all right, but then I went back to the Columbia because $10. I was like, it's worth it. But I mean, the shorter your hair is, the more fast you got to get it cut because it's like.
I guess I don't know. I just shaved.
Well,
my
this
head.
guy would just shave his head and just let it grow for months.
Not
in
anymore.
the past.
Not anymore. I usually do it about every like 2-3 weeks. I'm just like, Like whenever I shave my face, I'll like shave my head.
Mine's short, so I get mine actually every week. But I find it relaxing in America. It's whatever.
Privilege. Kids in Ethiopia can't do that.
They do. They never. Their hair never looks out of place.
They just going to Ethiopian barbershops.
They might have dollar barbershops or something.
Yeah, $1's a stretch.
I never seen them looking rough with their hair. I'm just saying. You know how a month without a haircut, how bad it would look.
Yeah, I do. Ethiopians be tight though, son.
I want to see you do a fade.
The me do it.
My fade is pretty messed up, even by the barber.
I don't even try. I take the clippers like.
So yeah, where my hair is so short, I have noticed the barbershop I go, they don't do a great job, to be honest. But where
Are
it's
they
so
friendly?
short, I mean, for the most part, I mean, they be talking. It sounds like they talk shit about everyone, but it's in their language. So I don't know.
One day you just turn as soon as they say something, just laugh with them. Just
I should be like, oh, really?
about speaking. Never mind.
Oh, they definitely be talking about the customers' tips, though. I mean, they went off the other day. This guy won paid. They're all just like doing in their language, and they were pissed.
What is their nationality?
I think Vietnamese.
You can't just be like their language.
I think
That's
Vietnamese.
Fucking horrible, dude. Okay, I like Vietnamese. My cousin's his girlfriend's Vietnamese.
Which Vietnamese, their language, sounds kind of harsh the way they say it because it's like a very like, like German sounds like they're saying some shit. Vietnamese sounds very aggressive.
My cousin's girlfriend's Vietnamese, and for Thanksgiving she brought, I don't know what the fuck she brought. Like, everybody brought a dish. I bring my apple crisp. I never fuck that up, yo. I'm the man on that. But she brought some kind of, I don't know what she brought. I think Sarah's the only one that got into it because Sarah, I don't know if you know, Sarah's white. So white folks are a little bit more explorative with their food options, whereas black folk, we like, what the fuck is this? And nobody touched that.
That is true, but then the white people, we don't season our food.
Well, that's why you explore a little bit more.
Because I'm guilty of this. I grew up, my mom didn't season the food.
So the fucked up thing about the whole seasoning thing, though, because I try to give Sarah credit, because Sarah does season, but then when she bakes chicken, I see her seasoning it, but it's just like when you eat, it's like, ugh. Like, what is wrong with this? So I gotta like dump all this hot sauce on it to like get through it.
That's how you get. When you got some bad chicken, hot sauce is your best friend.
And that's the thing. It's like it's not even like it's bad. It just feels like something's wrong. I just don't like baked chicken. Though. Like like the pork chops tonight. I think they're baked. They're fucking trash. I had one just to kind of save
Pork
face.
chops can be
And then-
amazing or not so great. Like when they're If they're overcooked, they're definitely not.
No, that's right.
Because my mom
Or
tended
like,
to like
undercook
things,
them. You get food poisoning.
but it probably tastes good.
No, it didn't. That was shit
But
for
yeah,
days.
I mean, my mom always liked everything well done when I was younger. So like, I always had steak well done. And I thought that's how I liked my steak, and then I had a medium steak. I was like, oh, this is a billion times better. Burgers, medium, a billion times better. Didn't know that though growing up.
I don't think my family knows that either because when they asked me to man the grill for 4th of July one year, and I did all the burgers medium, and everyone was like, "What the fuck
Like,
is
this
this?"
shit's not cooked. They're still red. Yo, that shit's good. Trust me.
I was like, "No, have it." And my uncle was like, "Nah."
Yeah, that's how I was when I grew up.
And
I
I've
was
been
like,
I've been pulled off grill duty for the family ever since. I was like, "Man, fuck y'all. I don't like y'all no
That's
more."
the way. I mean, taste wise, that is the best. Like it's.
It's yummy. It's yummy.
If you talk to like actual cooks and chefs, they will tell you that.
I mean, I like to talk to me because I eat it. So I'm worried about me, not others.
That's rude.
Fuck them. Let's rate this beer.
Yeah, this is the longest we've been without rating beer. I drank 2
40
of them.
minutes in, dude.
I drank 2 of them, which is impressive.
Not really.
When I go over the ingredients,
It's not
It's like-
impressive.
all right, so we got Golden Monkey. The other week we did Golden. It was a sour. Golden
Well, that's why I was
Sour
optimistic.
Monkey. I think it was called
Yeah,
Sour Monkey.
That's why I was optimistic. I was like, "Oh, this would be fine." We had
So,
this.
it's a Belgian style tripel. So those are those spice type beers. We got banana and clove with an equally fruity body, balance with a light earthy hop character, notes of orange and spice. Aaron, you didn't try this, but this is a 9.5%.
Hey, you said 9.5.
Yeah, I knew you'd like that. That's why I said it was
Hold on,
impressive that I drank 2.
Still not impressive. Hold on.
It's not that impressive, but it's a little impressive.
Kind of. If you had 4 of them, that'd be impressive. All right.
I had 19% of beer right now.
All right. So I'm back.
So yeah, it's a 9.5% though,
That's a saving grace right there.
which the Sour Monkey we got was pretty high like that.
I think that was 9. All right. Rate it because I'm eating.
I don't think it's an 8, but it's a high 7. I would recommend this. It's a beer that gets better as you drink it. The initial taste is a little shocking because there's a lot of spice going on.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 7-7 in honor of George Mirasan.
The fuck?
I don't know, but I like it.
I didn't.
But
hate
it's
it.
not an 8,
If you give this to me at a party, I'm gonna drink.
and it's a 9.5.
I'm not gonna buy this though. I'm gonna give it a 6.8. That's not. It's not that I don't like it. You give it to me, I'm gonna drink it. But I'm
This
not
is
buying
the
it.
first 9% you gave below a 7. But
Suck
it's
my
fine.
nuts. Because I'm eating, dude. I'm drinking wine and you coughing COVID all over the place.
But we got a good one, a good next one, I think. This one's kind of funny, the name. Fear Movie Lines, a.k.a. FML.
Okay. Fuck my life. I'm done.
And it's by Stone. I think we've had hit or miss with Stone.
Story of my life. All right. So,
But this is another heavy hitter.
all right. I'm done.
Ooh,
I like
the color looks a lot better.
Dude, I love this pizza, dude. This fucking pizza's so good, even cold.
So that's what, Veneris?
Yeah. God damn, dude, it's so good. Like, I'm really, really happy.
I'm a big fan now of my
Thank you for this. This is fucking good.
my favorite pizza.
I'm like fucking ecstatically happy right now. My daughter would probably be down here fucking chomping down too, but like I told her, you gotta take your ass to sleep. I'm not feeling you today.
Oh damn, this is good.
Fuck. All right, hold on. You think it pairs well with pizza?
Yes,
Nice. Hold on.
this one's significantly better than the first one.
You're a gentleman and a scholar, my personal hero. We good right there. Because sometimes people be like, oh, that's good. And I'll pour a full glass. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I'm not finishing this.
We usually are
Oh,
close.
this smells pretty good. I like the smell on it.
I think it goes well with beer. 'Cause I mean, it's a little more on the bitter side, but it's like balances the pizza.
That's a match made in heaven right there. Hold on. So you got to get a bite. Get the pepperoni up in that joint. Take a
Do
sip.
you remember hearing we went to I always forget the name of the place. What's the brewery in Bethesda we went to?
Rock bottom.
Yeah. So they had a light beer called Lumpy Dog. I love that shit. That was one of my favorite tasting beers. It was probably like, it probably wasn't very much alcohol percent. We should get a growler of that.
Look at you using school words and shit.
The growler.
Like
I just
you went to
remember
brewery school.
we were there one night and we were standing outside. I think you were smoking, and the bouncer outside was just like, "Look up there," and it was like some red light, like was it Silver Spring or Bethesda? Bethesda. So I don't know if you know, like there's a lot of tall apartments around that area. So super tall apartment nearby, but there's one apartment way up top that's just red lights inside with the windows all blocked out. He's like, "Yo, they film porn up there."
I wouldn't go that far because of the red lights, but they definitely fucking.
Yeah. No, he knew though. He was like, sometimes they come down here after, and we're just like, "Oh, okay."
How many porns have you seen with red light tints? I watch a lot of porn. I ain't seen none. They fucking up there for sure. They probably ain't filming it. If they are, they ain't putting it out. I'm just saying, dude. Coming from a dude that watches porn probably more than I watch regular TV, like they ain't filming the porn up there. But they fucking for sure. You don't just be chilling with red lights on. You be fucking. Like that's why I'm got like Amazon give you the options to buy those lights that change colors. I was
What's
like,
that? Oh,
I'm
it's a
not doing
Sting
that.
song. What is it? Something with the red light.
Roxanne.
Roxanne.
Yeah.
You don't have to put on the red light.
lights.
All right, so Roxanne was up there.
Roxanne was getting her rocks. All right, so yeah, we got the one beer. We drinking this one. So I pulled something up off Instagram because that's what I do. I spend most of my time on Instagram. Yeah, there's some Kanye stuff, but I didn't pull that up. So it was on one of those ESPN shows, like the overreaction or not an overreaction. So I assume this is for today. It says 7 hours. Oh, Jesus Christ, I burped and couldn't fucking breathe. All right, so not an overreaction. The Packers are in danger of missing the playoffs.
I think that's a little overreaction. Their defense is nice. I feel like they'll figure it out a little bit on offense. I don't know why Aaron Jones is terrible this year, but then the backups
I was going to say,
looking a lot better.
I mean, I think they're not too worried about the passing game.
One of our friends, his draft strategy, because I'm in 2 leagues with him, he drafted a bunch of players that were good 5 years ago.
I don't see a problem.
They'd be beast on paper like 5 years ago.
Maybe they're good on Madden.
Aaron Jones is beast on Madden. You know who's really beast on Madden is Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and he shouldn't be, but you cannot tackle him with one person.
They keep hoping. They're like, we're hoping he's going to be good.
I've had him every year. Now he gets a touchdown, maybe 2 every game.
All right.
When I had him, he had friggin' nothing.
Not an overreaction. The Jets will have both the offensive and defensive rookies of the year.
Oh, I think that could be a possibility.
Yeah. I mean,
Bryce Hall's a rookie, right?
Yeah.
I think Bryce Hall will be rookie of the year on offense. And again, their defense is nice.
I agree.
No overreaction. I like that. And like I said, I would be excited if I was a Jets fan.
Overreaction. The Giants, not the Cowboys, are the biggest threat to the Eagles in the NFC East.
No, that's an overreaction.
Damn, done.
Giants
fucking
weren't-
finish the fucking sentence.
Giants didn't look that good to me. The Ravens fucked up that game. They should have won the game.
Who's the Giants' one loss?
The Eagles?
Well, probably, yeah. That seems fair. Then no, they're not going to be the threat because they can't even beat the Eagles, bitches.
I think the Giants' record is far better than what they actually are.
Yeah, like each week I'm waiting for the bottom to drop out.
I watched that game. They didn't look impressive to me.
Well,
I mean,
they-
Saquon looks back to being Saquon, which is a plus.
Until
But
he
they
gets
have
hit right.
they have no receivers. Daniel Jones still a suspect. This is his contract year. If I'm them, I don't know that I would want him back, even though he's winning games.
Well, I mean, the team is winning.
He's
games.
still I don't feel would you re-sign a player you drafted if he's probably like 18th or below in quarterback?
Would you re-sign Trent Dilfer?
Hell no.
Exactly. There you go. All right, let's see here. Oh, they lost to the Cowboys.
Okay, yeah, it was an NFC East team. That's what I thought.
All right, so, and that's fine. I mean, I think the Cowboys, they're solid.
The Giants are overachieving, but I will say their coach is tight.
Yeah. All right.
I like that he was dancing off the field. When your team's that bad in history, it's a lot better than Ron Rivera just blaming everybody.
Not an overreaction. The Bills and the Chiefs will meet again in the AFC Championship game.
Not an overreaction. That's the two best teams.
Yeah.
They'd play in the Super Bowl if they were in different conferences.
I feel like if the Ravens get there, they tend to figure something out in the playoffs. They get real lucky. I mean, the Ravens fans want to think that they're good, but they're just lucky in the playoffs.
Right now, they're panicking. They think they're terrible. They need to change their. I listened to the radio. All the fans called in. They want to change the coach. They want to change the quarterback.
For what? Like, for who? Like, who are they going to get? Who do they want?
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. Everybody always has, like, all these, like, oh, we want a new coach. We want a new quarterback. Well, who do you want to replace him with?
So I will say this, being a Washington fan, where I don't want Rivera. Why would any coach want to coach our team?
So,
With knowing what you know of Dan Snyder and
so I'll say
who
this.
we have at quarterback, would you want to come here with Carson Wentz?
So I'll say this for Washington, as a fan and kind of me as a pseudo fan. I like saying pseudo. I don't know what the fuck that means, but I'm like a fan by proxy. I will say this: is that hey, we need a new coach. There's viable options. There's options available. There's a lot that you can look for. For the Ravens to say we fans are like we want a new coach. Harbaugh's a fucking great coach. Like, that's called being fucking spoiled. Like we need a new coach. It's like, okay, but who you want to replace him with?
That's the thing. They think like if they don't win the Super Bowl, it's a failure.
It's called being spoiled. Fucking
Oh,
cunts.
I know.
I wonder how many Ravens fans we have listening. Probably like oh god.
We probably had some and then they stopped.
I was gonna say we probably don't have any now.
What's wild is though, because I watch the Ravens cheering for them because I have Lamar in fantasy.
I don't cheer for them. Like even if
I
have
enjoy watching
players
Lamar,
on their
but
team.
yeah, last week was a suspect game. I will say this: stop letting Lamar decide if you go for a fourth down. That's why you have coaches.
He's always going to say yes.
Yeah.
Every player's going to
Why
always
you
say
have
yes.
coaches. It looked like that one game Lamar wanted to go, and Harbaugh didn't look like he was feeling that decision.
All right. And then last one. Bailey Zappi should remain the Patriots
Yes.
starting quarterback. You gonna let me finish? Let me finish. Next year.
Yes.
Oh, I mean that wasn't it, but I was just trying to be a dick at this point. But yeah, I agree. Matt,
I think they've just found a quarterback.
I say let it ride out.
Because Mac Jones was just basically being a Trent Dilfer. Like, they were not letting him do much. He was playing as a game manager, and he wasn't playing bad, but he wasn't playing good. Since Zappe's
Is
been
this
quarterback.
his second year, Mac Jones?
Yeah.
What's been his best game, like as far as yardage? You know, like just
I don't
even just a
remember.
guess. Like, do you
I
think he's
know
over
he
three?
was. He might have won game, I think.
Okay, so
but I think his yardage is probably very low for a
I think he
quarterback.
averages about 200 a game, maybe 215.
I bet it's below.
I'm being generous with that. I'm being very generous with that. I'm thinking 215 on the friendly
I'll
side.
say this too: with New England, they don't have anyone on offense. Like, I mean, they weren't. Stevenson looks like a good running back, and they weren't using him until recently.
I'm glad they are because
yeah,
I
me
didn't
too.
have a good fantasy running back because
They got the two tight ends, which I mean, they don't use a ton, but they have no receiver. The defense, though, when they played Green Bay,
their defense
Belichick
always
takes
steps
out.
up.
Hawkinson was killing it. What they did with him and versus Detroit, I don't think he had a catch. He had one catch. So they take out the best player. They took out the receiver too,
St. Brown.
St. Brown.
Yeah.
And then they did the same thing this past week. They take out your best player.
Right. Yeah, I
Yo,
picked up.
they might be the only team that could play the Rams and take out Cooper Kupp.
Tennessee game.
Let's see here. So his best game. All right, so he threw 310 against Tennessee.
So that's his best game.
This was last year. 310 against Tennessee, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Now,
Zappe already threw a 300-yard game just now.
exactly. So he's had against Jacksonville last year. He had a 3-touchdown game, and then it looks like he had a 3-touchdown game against Cleveland. These are last year's stats. So the whole thing is, and I know we want to play off the ideal of like the quarterback stats. You know, it matters all in the world, and it does matter. I mean, it's like if you're winning and you have decent enough stats. If you're winning and you have numbers like 115 yards, you're Trent Dilfer. You're not. You're a game manager. Versus if you're winning and you have about 220, 240, you're winning.
Since
you're
he's
winning
come in, they're winning every game. He's not turning the ball over. I think he has one pick.
Yeah.
But then their offense, because again,
They're
both
moving.
have their running back, have all taken a jump since he's been quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, the one dude, Stevenson, like,
Rondé Stevenson looked like, I mean, that's why I drafted him. He's like, he's a legit running back.
yeah. I mean, he went off against Detroit, which not saying much, but he went off, and then this week.
Yeah, he had 70 and 2 touchdowns. But his yards per carry were good.
Yeah. I mean, he got me a good amount of points, whatever he did. I was like, okay, I'm solid. I'm digging this. But I don't know. Yeah, keep Mac out of there. Trade him because Bill's good for that.
Yeah, that's the thing with. I mean, that's how they switched to Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Drew Bledsoe was a premier quarterback at the time.
They just signed Drew to like $100 million contract, and
Brady was a 7-rounder,
6.
6-rounder. So,
well, but I mean, and this was Brady's second year that he had to come in, and I mean, Drew Bledsoe did nearly die. So, I mean, the way he got fucking clobbered, it was like.
But then did they go to the Super Bowl that first year?
Yeah. Well, that year that Drew Bledsoe got hurt and Brady stepped in, so it was Brady's second or third year. But that's just the thing. It's like that was like kind of the talk. Was like, oh, you've got to start. And then when Brady got hurt, Matt Castle stepped in, and he had great numbers too. So it was like, maybe it's the system.
Yep.
And
but I mean, they definitely were playing a weird offense with Mac. He wasn't turning the ball over, but he was. I mean, they were like one of the lowest passing games.
That fucking hooked on phonics offense.
Yeah, it was Trent Dilfer offense. Like, just don't throw a pick.
Yeah, just don't. You're not throwing any deep balls.
But yeah, they're playing some. I mean, don't count the Patriots out now that they got this guy producing.
And I don't know if it's so much that he's producing as much as it's that they have someone that they can cut. It's like playing Madden and your starter gets hurt. At least for me, when my starter gets hurt, I take more chances with the backup.
Just Neps pulled up the stats. Oh wait, that's funny. Zappe caught a pass for -6 yards.
Why?
No, just looking at it, he spread the ball around real good.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 receivers. No one. Freaking 4 had 60 yards. That sounds like a good quarterback.
Well, and I think that's wrong with Mac Jones. He zeroes in on 1 or 2 guys.
See, here's a question for you. If you're a coach, and this will be the Cooper Rush. Had Cooper Rush run, he's not had crazy great stats. But do you stay with the backup until he loses? Because I feel like I would until they lose. Like if you're on a 5-game win streak with the backup, like kind of Cowboys were with Cooper Rush.
So that's tough because of the contract that they just gave Dak. I would let Dak come back and see what he looks like for 2 games.
So I feel like I would stay with the backup if they're on a hot streak, and then if it gets up to 5-game win streak, no, 4 maybe not, 5 now. It's like, all right, let's maybe ride this wave. First loss, we're going back.
Well, also we're thinking about 2 end game. I'm thinking also let's look at them in practice. What's everybody moving like? How's the team feeling? Like what's the chemistry like? And then it's like, all right, let me go ahead and let Dak get back in here, see what it looks like coming back. Obviously, there's going to be some rust to shake off, so you let him get that second game back in. If he still looks like shit, it's like, you know what? Let's go back to fucking Cooper Rush. But since Cooper got his fucking dick knocked loose the other day.
And 5's
So
say they won 8 in a row.
That's I'm staying.
And Dak looks better in practice, but
I'm staying with the backup because that was New England though.
It's like
because Drew was able to come back. They're like, just stick with Brady. He's winning right now. He's got us on the streak. And then I think Brady got hurt in the playoffs against Pittsburgh. And then they brought Bledsoe back in. He won the game. And I think it was like maybe the AFC Championship game. And I think that was the question. Who's going to start the Super Bowl? Drew or Brady? And they went with Brady, obviously.
The year Washington won the Super Bowl with Jay Schrader and Doug Williams, that was like a huge debate because they were like switching back and forth that whole season.
Can't relate. I don't
and
know.
It became, I think the white fans wanted Jay Schrader.
No shit.
Because Doug Williams was clearly the better quarterback, I think. I remember back then it was like a huge debate. Like
the Ravens fans want Flacco right now.
We had that several times in Washington where we couldn't tell who was the better quarterback. It was Jay Schrader, Doug Williams. Remember, Aaron, when we had Gus Frerotte and Heath Schuler? Yo, that was a debate though. Like the whole Washington fan base was split because Heath Schuler was a very high draft pick.
Yeah, it was like
Gus Frerotte was playing better but headbutting walls.
And
I hated Gus Frerotte for some reason.
Yeah, that's what. Like, how does Washington end up doing that a lot? It's like, let's draft 2 good quarterbacks in the draft.
Oh, the RG3. I've maybe told this story on here, but that night of the draft, I was arguing with Brett, and he won't remember this, but I was like, "That's the dumbest draft pick ever." And he's like, "Why? Now they got a good backup in case he gets hurt." Like, what if he's better though? You can't start him.
Dude, I remember when that happened because I was confused.
Because a third round, it was third round, right?
Third.
Because a third is a decent. That could be a starting quarterback.
Yeah.
So, and clearly, Kirk Cousins was the better quarterback and career wise, and I mean he looks damn good this year. And Vikings lost one game.
In the league.
Right.
So I mean, I remember when they drafted Kirk Cousins. I remember because I followed him in college. He played Michigan State, and I was like, they drafted him. I was like, really? Like,
so I remember that
RG3?
night we got a huge arm. I kept saying like, you don't understand how bad this is, and he's just like, no, it's good because he's going to be a good backup in case he gets hurt. But I was like, but what if he's good enough to start? Like we just drafted 2 quarterbacks and we're going to lose one of them once the contract's up. Like it's stupid. I mean, you should never draft a quarterback first and third. And we've had that people do that in fantasy, which is funny.
I mean, then he do it like second and third. I'm not even gonna say what I was about to say.
We had 2 people do it first and third. One was who you mentioned last week at the end of the episode.
I know. So I'm trying to relax.
He drafted a quarterback in the first and the third.
And there were 2 really fucking good quarterbacks.
And then I have a friend who did it in my league 2 years ago. He got Lamar in the first round, 3rd pick overall, because he's a Ravens fan.
Wow.
And then drafted Kyler Murray in the 3rd round, and they had the same bye week.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Like, yeah, it's fucking bad.
The Kansas guy, just like him last episode. But yeah, I had to ban the other guy that did the 1st round, 3rd round quarterback that had the same bye weeks because his team didn't, I think they maybe won 1 game, but then he stopped setting his lineup, and then he traded with probably his best friend in the league. And it was a legal trade. I'll say this, by the way, as being a commissioner. Back in the day, we used to be too strict of like, it has to be a 50-50 trade. There's no trade that's perfect. Like, if you want to critique it. And it's crazy how many times I've thought a trade that I've allowed would be beneficial to one person, and then it worked out the other way. It's tough to predict. And I'll say this, the NFL is hard to predict stats. Who is the number 1 pick this year unanimously?
Unanimously.
Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
He's not done anything this year. I mean, he's hurt right now, but when he was getting his carries, though. Not many running backs were getting 17 carries a game. Like, I think he was 17 to 20, but he was getting like 60, 70 yards.
Yeah, but, I mean, that's the nature of that game.
So in fantasy football, though, trades, it's almost like you have to allow everything unless it's like, okay, Christian McCaffrey in his prime for Robbie Anderson.
So I remember when we did the first, my first league, what was it, Mid-Atlantic Fantasy Football, and the one dude, Curtis, was upset that nobody wanted to trade. It was like he was offering like goofy trades. It's like, I'm not taking that trade. And I think his whole thing was like, well, then make me an offer. I was like, I don't want to. Like,
I don't trade much because it's like I drafted the players I wanted, so I kind of like them.
Yeah.
I've traded in the past. Me and you've done trades in the past.
I think the only people I've traded with is you and Neps. Like, I don't.
But yeah, for the most part, I've done very few trades, and this is like 15 years of fantasy football.
Yeah.
Juan does the most trades of anyone I've known.
Well,
He drafted the worst team.
I do a lot of pickups,
but he does make some good. Some are good, some are bad. Al sometimes has accepted trades where I'm like, that's a dumb trade, and then Al is someone I'm not ever doubting.
Oh yeah, no.
If Al's trading with you, he knows what he's doing and he's getting the better end.
Of course, but I've never seen him do a trade that didn't work in his favor.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure in my league he started out in last place. I think he did a trade with Juan, and it was a big trade. And I thought Juan made out, but Al made out because he got more players out of the deal. Al knows what he's doing in fantasy football.
Yeah, that's a fact.
His overall record was by far the highest. Like, you can look at everyone's record. His winning percentage was way high.
So, just looking real quick, because I won this week, finally. Well, I won last week, but I was looking rough. My team was kind of trash.
Yeah, in the Beer Club League, I was missing my top 3 receivers.
So, okay, she did pick up a tight end. Oh, did she drop Hawkinson?
No.
Oh!
I had to help her with that.
Oh, come on.
She was like, Hawkinson's not playing. I was like, yeah, you need a tight end. And you know who she drafted, though, is a decent player. The receiver. No.
I'm looking at, like...
No, who she dropped, though, was a dude from Detroit. Chark. Which Chark started off good, but then kind of faded away. Y'all are about to get... I don't know if I still have him. I shouldn't say.
I don't know. Say it.
Because you're on your bye week. Your rookie's about to come back. And people don't know about him. Your rookie receiver is one of the fastest players in the NFL.
Yeah, but his quarterback is Jared Goff, so.
Yeah, but
so yeah, even if she started Drake, she wasn't winning. Just so let her know that.
Yeah, I'm struggling in the beer club. I just had mad injuries, but also I had a bad bye week and injuries. So I think all top 3 of my receivers were out this week.
Yeah, so yeah, you had a rough week because my dude Manuel. I saw his score. I was like, "Damn, that's what
he had a decent week."
Yeah, he had a really good week. But then I saw your it was like at least
I had to struggle to get some receivers. Yeah, I was glad I made it to 100. I think I made it.
Did
to
you
100.
make it 100? I guess
it wasn't looking good.
I didn't look at it.
But so I had Devontae Adams, St. Brown,
yeah, they're on bye,
and then Olive. I don't know how to actually say his name. Olave. From New Orleans rookies. He's been beast.
Fuck that guy.
But that's my top 3 receivers, and I was like,
oh, look at Amber. Good for her, because she's always texting me, "Oh, I suck. I lost again." Like she put up big numbers this week. You didn't make 100, son. You're 15 off.
Rude. I won in my league. I think did Schultz's son lose? Because that might put me in first.
Damn. No. So I was gonna say our 1 and 2 teams lost. Brett. He's still got, well, they both still have players, but Brett's losing right now by 7. All right, Neppers up there, about to take out the number 1, and then I don't know, where am I? I'm number 7. Not for long.
Okay, so this is my league. Yeah. Oh, good. Schultz's son had a terrible league. So he was undefeated, but he just put up 77 points. And I was already ahead of him in points. So I think that's going to put me in first this week. Steve, I think, won, but I have a pretty decent point lead on him. So I'll be 5-1. So Steve. Steve has a good team.
I'm in some kind of fucking bullshit.
Red, by the way. That's red.
Yeah.
Yo, he got all his freaking Buffalo boys. Because no one picked, what's his name went late? Quarterback.
Allen?
Allen went kind of late for where he should be. So he got his boy.
Because in our league, I was going to pick him, but then he picked him. Like the exact round, I was like, all right, I'm going to grab him right here. This is the time to get him.
I think Red has a good team in my league.
And then I got fucking stuck with Russell fucking Wilson. What's his fucking numbers look like?
That's who Juan got. Russell Wilson's been
Fuck that guy. Not Juan, but Russell Wilson.
But yeah, I mean, you didn't know with him. But yeah. Oh, let's give props to friggin' Seattle. getting rid of Russell Wilson, and Geno Smith's tearing it up. Geno Smith might be a Pro Bowler the way he's playing.
So Russell right now is at 185 with a touchdown and 20 yards rushing.
Oh, he's running right now, and he got 2 yards.
All right, so 22 yards rushing. I don't know.
Let's ride.
Like this was my return to like fantasy football this year, so I don't know. I probably won't be coming back next year.
Oh, you started off hot.
Man, fuck that guy.
Damn, how you start off 10 for 10 and go for 4 for 13?
Because he's Russell Wilson. Yo, Sierra's probably thinking right now, I picked the corniest dude. Fuck that guy. All right, yeah, we've been on.
Let's review this beer.
Yeah, we've been on football for a minute.
Fair Movie Lions. I think that's a joke on FML.
Yeah,
Fuck
I
my
can
life.
see.
It's by Stone Brewing. We've had lots by them, actually. Yo, you know what's wild is I had to go to a regular liquor store today because I needed one beer.
With the peasants.
Because, no, I mean, normally I go to Total Beer and Wine because they have tons and tons of beers. Yo, this one beer has a decent selection of odd beers. We've had all of them. I was like, God damn, I found one we didn't have. But yeah, so
Sometimes it doesn't hurt to just go back through the list. I told you we need to go we need to look at our top 10.
well, we have
Just take one.
we could just do even the 8.3s because I think we have 6 or 7,
Okay.
and that's our top one. We haven't had higher than an 8.3
So
combined.
how about this? This is episode 75. So we're fast approaching 100. I love when people say fast approaching when it's like on pace. It's like week to week. So we're not fast approaching. We're just approaching in 25 more weeks, unless you get COVID again. I had COVID and I fucking recorded.
Aren't I like
so,
immune now?
I guess. I don't know. I had COVID and I went and fucking hung out in the fucking COVID ward and I felt good. I was doing backflips. I probably shouldn't have been.
Drinking COVID is
But
like having a hangover.
I say for episode 100, can we do top 5? Top 5 beers. Don't even say, don't tell me what the scores are.
Yeah, well, we
Just
do it.
throw them back out there and let's go. And then, yeah, that's episode 100. Yeah, do some other big shit for 100. I don't know, maybe go streaking. I don't know when I'll figure out the calendar. When
One
it's
of the
gonna be.
days you come back over to mine,
I gotta
we'll
get,
do
I gotta get these other mics
a
working.
mixed shot.
Made by you,
Yeah.
suspect.
No, you know I make it. The Thor
Yo,
bombs.
no, that one shot was like, or that one drink, it was like, it's all right. It's glowing, but it's all right. I feel
that
like
one was good.
it-
What
I mean, it was
did me
fine.
in though was we had scotch.
Yeah, I mean,
So Aaron, you know, I mean, we recorded an episode at my house.
it's pending.
I went to
I'll
bed
put
at
it out.
6:30.
I got a text at 3 a.m. Talk about how was the podcast.
Yeah, because I
I want to hear the unedited version.
I
That's
panicked.
what I want to hear.
No, I woke up panicked.
It's still available. So whenever there's a fucked up episode and I have to do like massive editing, I still keep the original. I have a folder. It's original recording. I think there's like 4 episodes where it's like, that's just too bad to put out. So
I feel like it started off great though. So because I have that bench, the 4 of us were all sitting. I got a picture of us. We look professional as hell. I was like, damn. And we started off good conversation, but I was drinking scotch, and it was really smooth.
Yeah,
like-
yeah, it was good.
And I know at one point we went out and played football.
No, that was
And
at
then-
the end of like when we're all
Yeah,
done,
I think
we're
that was
out to
before I
leave.
went to bed. Well, apparently Brian stayed for a while. He was like smoking a cigar out back. But yeah, he was all excited to hear it, and I was like, I don't think it.
You're not going to hear it for a while. I'll put it out. It's just I have so many.
I think we could do
off-the-bats
another one.
episodes like stacked up that I have to edit through, and a bunch of them are 3-hour episodes, and I have to like clean all of that up. So it'll get out.
And the scotch was like the moonshine, an accident. Like this scotch is way smoother than you think. So I remember us drinking, and we're like, oh, this actually tastes pretty good.
I mean, I already knew, so I was able to control myself.
Well, you had to drive, but I was at home.
That too. I mean,
Yeah,
even when I'm
Brett
home-
said he could tell, like, because I usually have really good hands in football. He said I was dropping every ball. I was like, oh, man, someone's really
I mean,
wrong.
maybe that was later. When I went out there, you were fine, but no, it was fun. It was just so I want to try to get these other microphones up because like lugging this around is a pain in the dick. I have another mixer too, so there's that. But I'll come through next week for the game. Like I know, like the last like 3 weeks, was like, yo, you trying to come over? It's like, nah, I got this or I got that. And this week was the fucking work picnic, which I got to play tennis with Sophie. You know, someone went to Five Below, got a couple of cheap tennis rackets and balls, and hitting the ball with Sophie. She was having a good time. He was like, Dad, let's go like throw frisbee around. I was like, I don't want to. I was like, that's the white part of you coming out. Yeah, you want it? Well, we got the one in the freezer to try to get it a little bit more chill. I just put it in there. We're gonna do that one.
I think we're gonna do 4 today.
Yeah.
This one we're gonna do because it's Halloween. This one's probably weak. But
let me see that. Let me see the label.
I mean, the label looks cool.
Oh no. Okay, I thought I saw a devil. Okay.
There's an owl.
Same thing. But yeah. So no, I'll come over next week though. Now,
and then what's your Halloween party that you always do? Because we were thinking about wanting to do one on the Saturday of Halloween.
I'm going. Yeah, that's when I'm going. The 29th.
Like a small get together, but
yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I was like kind of counting. I was like, okay, well, if they do a Halloween party, I want to be able to go, but I'm already going out to theirs on the 29th, and we missed last year, so.
If we did it Friday, is it possible?
I could do it Friday. Like, I mean, yeah.
Let me see what we can do.
I mean, yeah, if you do it Friday, I'll go. I gotta figure out a different costume. I don't want to wear my costume.
Aaron, you're in
out yet. Or I might just do some like bullshit costume.
I wanted to be a pirate. Oh, one of those Halloween stores popped up at where Target is, I believe.
Oh, Spirit of Halloween. They pop up everywhere, son.
I just know don't wait till the last week because then you're left with the generic whatever no one wanted. So we have one good pumpkin and all the others have been bad. This one sounded more promising.
I'm going to drink this wine first.
I don't smell anything, which to me is a good sign. I don't like when it's too strong of a smell.
That's the COVID.
Yo, when I was telling people that you can't taste spice,
oh, this shit's pretty good.
They were like, "Does he have COVID?" And I was like, "No, I've known this dude for years. He's never taste spice." Are you sure?
Yeah, there's one guy on TikTok I always see who does like the extreme pepper challenge. I just want to challenge him, and I feel like if I could do it in person, it would be hilarious. Cause I'm gonna act like it hurts. I'm like,
I was telling like there was some video that came up here talking.
This isn't bad though.
I'll get to it. It's still pumpkin. It's trash. There's some like warning videos like, "Oh, you fucking people doing IG videos for clout. You're fucking yourself up." And I was like, this is Steve's moment to shine right now. All these fucks out there. Oh, it hurts. Oh, it hurts. I can't do it. And it's like, Steve, I watched you do the fucking one thing twice.
We tried it. Yeah. And then I did it with Brett too. And Brett ruined the video both times because he started dying laughing. So it made it sound when you rewatched it, it sounded like I was faking it. Like it looked like I was doing a fake check because he's just like, like just dying laughing. Like there's nothing even funny.
No, Brett's retarded.
So it made it.
Oh, there it is.
But no, let's say that retarded. Say it every time. But I'll say this: they cost freaking $7 each. So
yeah.
After 2 of $14, back to back, he ruined the video of laughing during it.
I mean, I still have the one when you did it here. I mean, you can fuck around with the video and see, because I mean, it was fine for the most part.
Yeah, I need to get back on the TikTok. I haven't been posting videos. Because TikTok's weird. It's like sometimes it releases it, sometimes it doesn't. No, it's better for a pumpkin beer.
Yeah, it's not terrible. What's the percentage on it? Like
decent.
5 at least.
Oh, we didn't even review the last beer.
Let's go ahead and review the last beer. Well, because I told you to review it while I was eating.
All right, Fear Movie Lines, aka FML, Stone Brewing. It's real quick from what I remember. It was a kind of a bitter IPA,
bitter, but it was good.
It had a little fruity orange peel type flavor.
I wouldn't go that far.
But yeah, 8.5.
I like
so
it.
Decent.
I'd buy this.
It's definitely in the 7s to me.
Yeah,
a buy category.
It's a low buy, but I'd buy. I'm gonna go 7.2.
That's what I was going. That's a lot.
Yeah.
When we agree, that's the score. That's 100%.
There's no question.
Right.
You can't change it. I can't go back like, man, I'm gonna give it.
Yeah, let's go to this one.
All right.
But we've never done a back to back like this because we're gonna do a fourth.
This. Hold on.
So it's called Night Owl Pumpkin. Definitely got one of the better bottles for Halloween style. I like the bottle.
This is actually pretty tasty.
Yeah, it's one of the better pumpkins.
This is good.
So it's by.
I wouldn't buy it.
I don't know how to say it exactly,
7.
but Ellie Cyan. They have a famous beer we've done. I think it's called Space Dust, something like that. Seattle, Washington, pumpkin beer that's roasted with
Hey,
150 pounds of pumpkin per
that's
batch.
just gay. Hey, real quick, I'm excited that Wolverine up there. That's the Weapon X joint inside the case because that's from the comic. I've been looking to do that since I got that fucking figure.
Why is he naked? He seems like
Because
a
that's when they
naked
fucking
fixture.
experiment on him, like gave him the adamantium and all that shit. Don't do that, dude. Don't disrespect my fucking shit, yo. I'm fucking excited about that. I'm like super happy. Like when I got that fucking container, immediately I was like, how do I hang this dude inside of this fucking tube?
His knees look like how my knees feel.
Like I saw someone do it. They actually put water inside the container. I was like, no, that's a little much. But I'm fucking excited about that. Sorry to cut you off.
It reminds me of a funny story of the Bobby Lee, the comedian, wanted, if he died, he wanted to be put in a tube like that for formaldehyde.
That's not funny.
No, but he wanted to be dressed in a tuxedo, and then when he had different buttons, you press, and it'd be like, "Hi," like a message to different people. Certain people get a press a button, and it'd be their death wish. I kind of like that idea. If I knew I was gonna die,
I think
like to give you a funny message, and I'm in a glass jar.
So that was a thing that came up like at a tombstone. They're like, if you could go to a tombstone, there's like,
button to press.
pre-recorded. And I was like, that's,
I want to
could
do
go
it individual by people. Like, I mean, certain people get a special button. Then there's a generic button.
That's a business. Let's look into it. Like, they were like, get the fuck out of my fucking funeral home. I was like, what? It's a fucking great idea. And then you got to fucking get a Kickstarter. I don't know how that works, but one buddy had a Kickstarter, so I gave him $75, and then I got like a discount code for a new gi. It's pretty fucking cool. His app still isn't up yet, but it's coming along. So I'm excited. I wish I could give him more, but I think he got all the money he needed. Like, he asked me to actually go in on, like, to be part of the project, and I was like, dude, I don't have any skills. I don't know shit. He was like, okay. I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and step down.
This is gonna be an embarrassing story, but that's what we do on Colompton. But when my 100-year-old grandmother died,
I like it already.
it was during the COVID year, so
Not okay.
only a few of us went to the funeral. My mom writes this great note, but asks, like the worker there, he's not really like a speaker. He's kind of just like, kind of runs, like organizes, like
Yeah.
you do. All right, you do your speech.
He's like the wedding planner.
We'll lower the thing. Could not read well. And for whatever reason, my mom asked him to read this thing she wrote. You already know how me and my brother are. So this guy's struggling to read. We're trying really hard not to laugh. Like, I mean, really struggling. So we're just like, and then he starts doing some prayers that he wants us to repeat. It's windy as hell. I don't know when
This was outside?
Yeah. So we don't know the prayers. So when you can't hear it and you don't know it, so it's like da 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 da, and then you're supposed to repeat. None of us could hear it. So me and my brother just like, I went like this. And then my brother's just looking at me like, I was like, I don't know what he's saying to you. And he's like, no. And then I'm making my brother laugh by just going, So I feel like it's a good thing though. Like a funeral to me, if you celebrate their life. So
Laugh.
we're dying laughing about how silly we are as a family of like, we don't know what to do. No one knows what to say. It's just if there was cameras there, it'd be viral. Like how ridiculous we were. Like Brett's trying, and when Brett gets the giggles, he cannot hold it in.
It's like a fucking 5th grade girl.
But yeah, funny time. But shouldn't be a funny time. But at the same time, when someone lives to 100,
Yeah. Well, it's like whenever Marilyn Phil puts in the Nerd Rage notes, like a celebrity died at like 80. I'm like, I'll always message him back. That's not news, dude.
Yeah, because sometimes, like, and one of our old managers at the food place we worked at used to tell me like a funeral should be a celebration of their life, and that changed my whole perspective on a funeral. So it's like, yeah, we're all gonna go. Why don't you celebrate the good times with them rather than be sad about it? You know, because we're all gonna go.
I can't wait to get to my later part. Like this all ties in. This is
when I go tell the funny stories about me.
Well, yeah, that's my whole thing. It's like, look, like when I go, I don't know who's gonna be at the funeral. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of don't care because I'm gonna be dead.
Yeah, I was gonna say we won't know anyway.
But it's like I want to believe that, you know, people will say, you know, like Dante liked to laugh, like he loved to crack jokes, he loved to have a good time, and you know, you fucking help people. You like to help people, unless you know you're a dick, then you wouldn't help you. But I like to help most people.
But like Dante, when we used to play basketball and run in a circle around us, you didn't know why, and then suddenly you would know.
Oh, crop dusting, fuck y'all. Look, I like to share, okay? Like sharing is fucking caring, bitch. Don't fucking hate. So that actually, I'm just gonna move forward then real quick. It takes me to one of my movies I watched this week. I'll get to the other one later. It was fucking, oh my God.
I got 3 this week, but I feel like one of them, you might, it's bad, but I think you're going to like it.
My one is bad, is really bad. And on my other review show, I was like, I'm not going to tell Steve it's bad. I'm going to tell him it's good and he has to watch it. But I can't do that, dude, because it's so fucking bad. But the good. So I watched Clerks 3.
I didn't even know there was a Clerks 3.
So it was limited release. I didn't know it came out streaming yet. So it popped up on my TV Friday night. And I was like, immediately, I was like, I'm gonna buy it because I love everything that dude does. So Clerks 3, really fucking good story. So the premise is the two guys, Randy and Dante, or Randall, not Randy. Why the fuck I say Randy? Randall has a heart attack. And there's a roundabout way to this too, but Randall has a heart attack. He comes out of it and he's like, look, I've been wasting my time. And, you know, I want to write a movie about my life, basically. So, because like nobody will remember shit anyway. So let me just do this one thing. So kind of the roundabout way to this, like how it all comes back together is, there's this stand-up thing or college thing that Kevin Smith did called Evening with Kevin Smith. And he went to a bunch of colleges and he's telling the stories basically about how he got started. It came out in 2002. I watched it all the time. One of the things that he explained was when he wrote Clerks, he wrote the character Randall for him to play. He ended up giving it to Jeff Anderson instead. And, you know, so this is what we have. So Randall has the heart attack. And Kevin Smith, a few years back, had a heart attack as well at one of his events. Actually, he didn't want the assistant to call 911. He wanted to go to the next event and just go ahead and speak. And she was like, no, you got to go to the hospital. You're not looking well. You don't feel great. Turns out he was having a heart attack. And he had like a 20% chance to live. What he had was what they call a widowmaker. Obviously, he came out of it. It was all right. So that's the premise of this story here. So Randall has the heart attack, and he's like, look, I got to make this movie. And the movie that he ends up writing ultimately becomes Clerks. And I don't want to give away the ending or anything. It was a really fucking good movie. There was only one part that didn't make sense to me, and I actually hated that part, but I get it, I guess. It was just fucking dumb. They could have found another way around it. But ultimately, the movie that he ended up writing was Clerks. And like when you start seeing, like they were able to get all the actors that played in Clerks to come back. Because it wasn't like, oh, let's get these young people. It's like, no, let's get everybody that we know. They're going to play themselves as they are now, 20 years later. But then it got me thinking. It was like, if anyone were to say, Steve, I'm going to sum you up because I want to make a movie about you. What's one defining thing that people could say just definitively about you that they would make that movie about?
Dante always gives me some weird...
Just fucking answer the question, bitch!
I'm nice like glue. No.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't have an answer. I was sitting there thinking, I was like, I don't fucking know. But I'm
See,
asking.
I think I'm funny, but I only show the funny side of it. Even someone at work today was joking to me about today. Like, before I knew you, I was like, and Aaron, you always told a story of like where we used to work. Of like, someone's like, why doesn't Steve talk to me? He's like, he only talks to people he likes. And it's kind of true because I think I'm funny, but I don't show that. Like,
I'm not worried about what you think. I'm worried about what you think other people would think.
other people think, damn, he's handsome.
Look at that fucking chiseled jaw.
Yo, that line on his forehead is tight as shit.
Wisdom lines, yo. He's so smart.
Yo, he's smart as that dude must be smart as fuck.
So I'm glad you said as fuck because I've been hearing a lot of people say AF. That shit annoys me. I want to smack the shit out of people say blah 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 AF. Fuck you. Fucking cuss. Say as fuck. Yo, I'm smart as fuck, son. But we're not avoiding this question answer. It's actually pretty fucking good beer. I'm going back for more.
I feel like the people know me like, damn, Steve's just fun.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Like people that know you.
I think I'm gonna be fun.
Random,
Yeah, fun.
Random ass fucking
Fun
strangers.
because I'm very lighthearted and
You know what's fucked up is like we're sitting right here. Like the correct answer is I don't know. What do you guys think? That's the correct
I
fucking
mean I
answer.
know what
you
y'all
asshole.
think some shit.
Oh yeah. If I wrote the movie for Steve, like yo, this dude was a fucking
Well,
asshole.
Dante
He
would
tripped
be
his
like-
mom.
Damn, I did
This guy is gay as AF.
Oh, he double whammied it.
Hey, don't let me tell the story at the bar years ago. I'm gonna have to tell it now. He put me on.
Oh no, you're trying to deflect. I want your
Nope,
answer.
no, this is a good story.
Oh,
I think I'm funny as fuck,
Okay.
but only to my friends. Yeah, if you
Well,
don't,
yeah, I mean that's what you need.
if you don't think I'm funny, you're probably not friends.
Go ahead, tell it. I don't care.
It's a funny story, but yeah.
Hurry up, tell your
Me,
story, man.
our old friend,
Hurry up and bye.
and Aaron Neppers was at Jillian's back in the day. And we're all, I think we're taking shots at the bar, to be honest. We were lunatics back then.
Yeah.
We weren't we were probably not drinking beer. We were probably drinking shots. But- Grab that beer. We'll rate this one, by the way, right after this story. So, yeah, I mean,
Thank you.
this is a quick story, but it's kind of a silly one. Of just like, cute bartender kind of comes up to all three of us and is like, kind of like, my friend thinks you're cute. And she kind of says it towards me and Aaron at the same time. So we're like, oh, which one? And then she's like, you, and points to Aaron. So I was like, oh, dang. But then the kicker was, she's like, but my friend's a dude. So then it was just so funny to be there because at first it's like, oh, damn. Then it's like, oh, shit.
I mean,
And then
It
Aaron went
happens.
home with him. It's like,
like while watching the movie, like Sarah and I were thinking about, I was just like, damn, dude, like, because the movie, it was really well done, and one thing that I was saying to her about it is it kept with the spirit of what Kevin Smith has always done with Clerks. Because with Clerks, what would happen is you'd have Dante, who wasn't even supposed to be at work that day, and all this chaos went on. And the thing is, he blamed Randall at the end of it all, like, you know, it's your fault that this happened, and that happened. And, you know, kind of when you look at it, it's like, well, you went along with it. So it's not his fault. I mean, you could have easily said no. You could have easily not closed the store up and went on top of the roof and played fucking hockey. You know, this shit. And then when you get to Clerks 2, same thing. It's your fault that my wife is leaving me or my fiance is leaving me. Like, no, you're the one that fucking slept with your boss. Like, you fucked up, not anyone else. That's you. And then, you know, you get to the third one. And with Randall making the movie, and it was kind of a dickish move to some degree because he kept saying my movie. And you will see as he's writing the script, you know, like the part in Clerks, where he's like, oh, my girlfriend sucked 36 dicks or 37 dicks, you know, and that became kind of still a recurring joke there. You know, but they're bringing back old characters, and you know that character specifically, Veronica. She's like, you can't like he's like, this is my life. He's like, no, it's my fucking life too. You're putting my life on display like that. So that became part of it as well. When he's like, my story, my movie, my this, my that, and everybody else is like, it wasn't just you, dude. We were all there. So there was kind of a moment in all of that, but ultimately, it got some emotions from me. It was really a really fun movie. I know I'm rating it high in my own mind because of the travesty that I watched the night before, but I would say it's not a perfect movie by any means. It's not a 10. I would give it 8.5 though, and I know I'm biased because I wouldn't do that. I know I'm biased because of like I've always been a fan of those films, like day in and day out from beginning to end. And I was telling Sarah, the funny thing about Kevin Smith and his movies, I think the first movie I watched was Dogma. I don't think I watched Clerks until after Jay and Silent Bob, because I know when I watched Jay and Silent Bob, I didn't get a lot of jokes. But I was telling Sarah, like, the one thing about Kevin Smith, and people who can say what they want to say, everyone's always like, his movies suck and blah, blah, blah. His movies spoke to a generation. Because I remember being in high school and hearing, as a freshman and a sophomore in drama, a lot of the upperclassmen talking about those films, but not understanding it. So it had some effect on a group of people, and even still to this day. So that's why I like watching that third film. It felt like it all kind of came full circle, where you watch that movie, and even just seeing them older now as characters and fucking having heart attacks and shit. That shit's been in my head because I've encountered in the last 2 weeks 3 people have had heart attacks, and I'm like, holy shit! Like, we are there. I got one friend, my friend in England, Michelle. She sent me a voice note. It was like, in her proper British accent. I'm not going to try to fucking mimic it. But she was like, hey, I've been in the hospital all week. I had heart failure. So, holy shit. Like, okay. And then one of my tenants at work, he had a mild heart attack while driving. And then another friend, her boyfriend's friend had a heart attack. It's like, holy shit. I'm pretty sure I went over this last week, maybe. I know I've been talking about it a bit because it's been freaking me out. Because I don't have the best diet. So I'm like, and then I watch fucking Clerks 3. I'm like, fuck. I got to write a movie. But I don't, if I had to like say, I'm going to write a movie about my life, I don't know what that would be. I don't know what that would look like. Because I think I change every like 5 or 6 years. I change my shit up. Y'all can't keep track of me, son. But, yeah, it was a good movie. I'll go to my train wreck movie later on. What you watch?
All right. Before we get to this movie, let's review this beer real quick. Because we're going to do a bonus beer.
All right, yeah, it was pretty tasty. I liked it.
Night Owl Pumpkin Ale by Ilcelian.
I went back for seconds on this.
Brewing Company out of Seattle, Washington. We did a few by them. I think one of them was called Space Dust. Could be wrong, but I think that's a famous IPA. This is a pumpkin beer brewed with 150 pounds of pumpkin in each batch.
That's
with pumpkin seeds and pumpkins in the mash.
Questionable. And
it's spiced with nutmeg, clove, cinnamon, ginger, and allspice. So there's all the Spice Girls are in it.
They got black spice?
Clove spice?
She's my favorite spice.
She's the judge, right?
The black spice? I don't know. Judge for what?
One of those American top talent.
I don't fucking know. There's blonde spice,
baby,
bitch spice,
sporty,
gay spice, lesbian spice.
I don't know what. Oh, that's sporty, right?
I guess.
Wait, what's the other one you said?
Black spice and then ginger.
What was the second one you said?
I don't know. Bitch spice.
Who's bitch? Oh, Posh.
Sure.
David Beckham's wife?
You're making shit up now.
Are they still together?
I think so.
Oh, props to them.
Good for fucking them.
They're not too many celebrity couples like that to stay together.
Bitch Spice is like fucking Jada Smith, if she's like super toxic. I feel like she's toxic. She's toxic. She's got to be.
I don't know, but whenever I see stuff of oh no, I'm thinking of someone else. Yeah, you're right. David Beckham went to the MLS,
Yeah,
MLS, and then he disappeared. So
Nah, he's still like handsome.
Is he
He's
still
like
in the MLS?
think
We
he's
got
like-
our soccer ex. You're our soccer expert.
No, he's retired.
That's
yeah, that was what I was like. I mean, dude, that was like years ago. Like that dude's got to be done. He's a good looking guy. He's a model. He's pretty as fuck. So, you know,
all right. So 6.7%.
that's not hateful. Now,
We've had one good pumpkin beer, and I think like 2 or 3 bad ones. I think this is one of the better ones.
I think this is the best pumpkin beer. Tastes pretty good. Like I got more of it. I don't do that with pumpkin beer.
And we're in the spirit of Halloween.
I mean, I guess.
The night owl.
Yeah.
Look at that owl. He looks mean.
That owl looks like. Dude, I told you about that time we saw the fucking owl in the middle of the street when we were in
No.
Oakland Mills.
That's rude.
No, it was wild as shit. And like it was me and Sarah driving, and there was a fucking big ass owl in the middle of the street. We swerved like to get around it, and I don't know. There was something fucking weird about all that shit. Owls are fucking creepy. Have you seen an owl without feathers?
Yeah, they're friggin' skinny as hell.
Yeah,
Look
they're
funny as hell.
terrifying. They're terrifying. Is what they are. Could you imagine one of those fucking fucks just swooping down, just attacking you? Like I wouldn't know what to
I don't
do.
think I've seen an owl in real life.
Like outside of a zoo, you never seen an owl at the zoo?
Probably like on the perched on the trees. Definitely never flying at me.
Yeah, that shit is dumb. The owls, like the zoos are dumb. I hate zoos. Like you're gonna save something.
Well, it feels. Well, that's all foam. I could feel. You could feel those.
Yeah.
I didn't do it.
It's-
Yeah, let's
Neppers
review.
looks
Let's
like
review
something
this.
I'm into.
Pumpkin beer, decent. Yeah, it was something.
It was funsies.
I feel this one's a tough one for me because it's on the border of would I buy it or would I?
Yeah, same.
I definitely would drink it, and I'd be happy if you give it to me.
Yeah, I'd be
and
okay
at that
with
6.7, I'd be like, oh,
I think I would buy it if it was on some shit like, yo, we need like it's Halloween time. Let's
Yeah.
get in the spirit.
so Halloween time it goes up to a 7 for sure.
So yeah, if it okay, so
And it
there's
is
an
October.
Asterisk. I would give this a 7.2 in October.
Yep.
And the other time of the year it's a 6.8.
I'm gonna go 7.1, and that gives it a 7. So we recommend it, but with asterisks. October only. Yeah, it's like pumpkin spice coffee. You don't want it friggin'
Yeah, I want it in July.
summertime.
It's dumb. But Christmas in July. Fuck y'all.
So, damn, we got. We have 3 7 beers. You didn't give the first one a 7, but I made it a 7.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hate the first one. I just didn't like it either.
This one, the color looks good.
Yeah, it tastes good. It tastes pretty good. It's got like a grapefruitish type of appeal to it.
Oh yeah, that's grapefruit.
Yeah, I'm digging it.
Where's the can? Here we
Oh,
go.
right there, in fucking
The
front.
crab Narok.
Yeah, you illiterate.
Oh yeah, it's a hoppy beer.
Okay.
So yeah. Oh, you want me? Let me get to one of my movies.
Yeah,
So I actually
tell me
did
movie.
3 this week.
Okay.
First one is kind of funny, and I feel like it's so bad at the beginning that it's funny. You got to get through it.
All right, let's go.
So it's a horror movie,
All right,
a
let's
little
roll.
bit silly.
Let's rock.
It's one of those B movie.
I love them.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I have
feel
Shudder.
like Dante might like
all
this.
my movies on Shudder are B movies for the most part.
So again, I was looking for a movie, and there's not so many movies out right now. Like even renting them of like that I haven't seen or like seem really appealing.
You're looking in the wrong places.
So I'm looking for some recommendations, but it's called Bitch Ass, which is kind of funny. Bitch Ass
Give me one.
horror movie. It is like a all black cast.
Love to hear it.
It's
Black actors.
yeah. So what's funny is the review I read. What made me want to watch it was like a great cast. I'll disagree with that. The acting at the beginning is terrible. Like one of the worst acting jobs I've ever seen. And one of them is this rapper I kind of am familiar with, and his name is like Afro, which means all flows reach out. He's the first one to die, luckily, because he was the worst actor. I would say the first 3 people that died in this movie were the first worst actors. So once they're out of the movie, it gets significantly better. But basically, it's not to give too much away, but the main bad guy wears kind of a mask. he's picked on as a kid. He's overweight. He's kind of a nerd, and he loves board games. Very much bullied. Very bullied. Eventually, whatever, years later, some gang leader is initiating 4 people. The 4 people initiating the gang look like they have nothing to do with a gang. Like, it doesn't make sense.
I can't wait to get to my movie.
So they're told to rob this house because bitch ass's grandmother died, and bitch ass was his nickname.
Obviously.
So
I didn't think it was on
they go to the 4 younger people go to rob this house and whatever. Basically, he's now a serial killer, and the way he kills people though is because he always liked board games. So he makes them play a game versus him.
I'm in.
That part's interesting.
I'm down. I like it.
Even his background story is a little interesting. His mask kind of silly, whatever. But, I mean, he just goes through that. The first few people he kills pretty quickly. And again, they're the worst actors. But I guess one of the characters in this gang initiation is actually quite kind of more studious and looking to go to college. His mom's a better mom than the others. And it comes out that his mom was friends with bitch ass when he was a kid. She was probably the one nice person to him. But she was dating one of the cool guys who's actually the leader of the gang.
All black cast, eh?
Yeah.
Erica Duke isn't black. That's a white chick.
Who the hell is that? There was no white people in this movie. She was not in that movie.
I don't know. That's what they told me.
Man, she was...
Actually, probably not. Because sometimes the internet be telling you oh, someone's in the movie, but when you don't see a character name.
No, there was no white person in this movie.
But she was. He was probably
Maybe in the school scene?
I'm
in the background?
Probably. She was that one person who was over here.
But yeah, I mean, bitch ass. It was kind of funny. So again, I think it's supposed to be a little bit laughable horror movie.
Yeah. Horror comedy.
It's making fun of it a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I would say the story's not the worst, to be honest.
Horror royalty. It's got Tony Todd in it. I mean, that's candy.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah, and he's the narrator, which is kind of funny. So he announces the story,
got the voice.
And then when he ends the movie, he basically implies there's going to be a part 2. So you think the main whatever, what would you call him? I wouldn't say he's a bad guy because it's almost like he got bullied and you're kind of on his side in a way. He looked a little like T-Pain with the mask on.
I was gonna say. So I looked at this guy and I was like, "Let me guess, that's bitch ass." And I look right down. Yep, that's it.
That's bitch ass.
I was like, "Yep, he already looks."
Wait, have you seen the guy Afro? All flows reach out. He's the guy, kind of chubby with afro. He's a rapper, but let me ask you this, because it just made me think.
Yeah.
I like my rappers kind of like a rock star. Like, they're going to maybe drink a little on the show, maybe smoke a little. I don't want my rapper to be completely straight edge. Yeah. I don't know why.
I mean, it depends on what you're looking for. I mean,
that never appealed to me. Just
as long as you can entertain me. If you're rapping and I like what you're saying, whether no matter, as long as I like what you're saying, I like the beat.
So I think he's one of those straight edge.
Shit is gay.
Yeah. I don't know. Something, and he's very lyrical, very skilled, but something just doesn't appeal. I feel like I can't relate maybe because it's if I'm in your situation, I'm going to have a few drinks at my show and hang out with the fans after.
Maybe.
No, I know if me and you were in a rap group, we're going to be drinking.
I'd drink. I wouldn't hang out with the fans. I don't like people. I fucking hate people, son.
Yeah, right. All those guys asking for your autograph. Dante's would be like, hey, everybody.
No, I tell them, go to my Instagram. Go to bjj.wiki. And I'll talk to you there. I ain't trying to talk to you in person. Fuck y'all. I'll watch it.
Yeah, again.
So is it streaming anywhere? Or?
So I rented it, but it was one of those cheaper rentals.
I'm not paying for it.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that right now.
But I feel like you might find it humorous.
I mean, I'm in. It's on YouTube for $3.99. So
yeah, so it was one of the cheaper ones. It's not
hateful.
like the one of those. But I will say this: it starts off incredibly bad, but the worst three actors die first. So then it gets significantly better. And then I was like, the second half's actually pretty good. I kind of like what they did with like when it was like once. So they go to rob his house again. They do this little cutaway of like the cards. So it's like bitch ass verse. Blah 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 in the game. That was kind of tight, yeah.
Like that.
Right. So it was like creative, but if it cost $10,000 to make the movie, I wouldn't doubt it. Like me and you could make a similar quality
because Tony Todd's in it. It costs at least $1 million, and that was probably all to him.
Still shocks me.
It's all to him.
But yeah, he was funny as a narrator. He's just at the beginning and just at the end. But yeah the end implies. Bitch ass, you don't see that he dies. It's kind of like one of those, you think he's going to die, but the way he's like, and bitch ass is going to be back. And it's like, all right, there's going to be a part 2. But yeah, it's kind of funny, even though his name was bitch ass.
Sign me up. I'm in. I watched, because this was opening weekend for it, I watched Halloween Ends.
There's a lot of body language. I don't know what to make.
And that's all there is to say about that.
It doesn't look like it's great.
I got some big emotions. All right, so when I did the initial review, which will be out this Friday, I gave it a 5. And the reason I gave it a 5 is because if you didn't call this Halloween, it's not a terrible movie. It's bad, but it's not terrible. If you called it Motorcycle Love, that's all right. It's called Halloween Ends. So this is a 44-year or 42-year, or is it 44? Yeah, 44-year story, basically. 78, 2018, 2021, 2022. So, like, this is the battle. Laurie versus Michael. I'm going to spoil the fuck out of this movie. I don't care. So you can go watch it, but I'm about to spoil I'm about to give you all the details. So this movie opens up. And it's Jamie Lee Curtis, who's Laurie Strode. She's narrating. She's telling the story of, everything that happened recently and how Michael killed her daughter. Ouch. So now we fast forward to 2019. There's this really nice house in Haddonfield. Probably the nicest house in Haddonfield. Easily the nicest house in Haddonfield. And there's this couple, and their regular babysitter, she got sick, so they called in this dude Corey. Corey's got to watch the kid, and they're still reeling a year later after the Michael Myers debacle. So the kid is a little shit. I fucking hate this kid. Like, the little kid tried to scare the mom at one point. I was like, yo, if that was my kid, I would have kneed him straight in the chest. Fuck that kid. It had him bleeding all over the place. So the parents go out, and they're going to like a little Halloween party up the street. So the kid's a little dick, and he ends up locking the babysitter, Corey, in, I guess, the attic. Now, there's a spiral staircase all the way at the very top, and that's where the attic door is. And he locks Corey in. Corey's got a knife in his hand. He's banging on the door. He's kicking. He's screaming. I didn't like that there was no like details of like, is he claustrophobic? What's going on? But he's freaking out. Now, fast forward now. This is at the point the parents are coming home. And the mom walks in and she hears, whatever the kid's name is. I don't fucking know. You're a little shit. And he says, I'm going to fucking kill you. And the mom hears that as she comes into the door of the house. And the kid goes to open the door. He unlocks the door as Corey kicks the door. It hits him. No, they're at the top. And hits him, knocks him over the railing. Splat, he dies. And the parents see him at the top of the stairwell, or at the top of the stairs with a knife in his hand looking over. Tragedy. Tragic. Horrible. Good opening, though. Loved it. Probably the best part of the movie. So now we get into the movie. 4 years later. So it's 2023 now. Because that's a cool thing. That's what the MCU is doing now. All the MCU movies are in 2023. So Halloween can be there too. So he spent 4 years in prison. Or in jail, whatever. He gets out and everybody's calling him crazy. Everybody's calling him a, killer, blah, 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 blah. Lori, who Michael's been hunting for years, she's trying to reclaim her life. She's bought a house in Haddonfield and she's putting up Halloween decorations. She's living with her granddaughter. The world is great. It's not. It sucks. This movie's trash. She runs into the cop from the previous 2 Halloweens and they're like talking some fucking gay talk. It's like all like, oh, the fucking cherry blossoms of Japan. Blah, 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 blah. It's fucking, the dialogue is dog shit. Fucking hate it. It was fucking horrible. They talk about all this fucking bullshit. He disappears. You think this is going to be a big part of the movie? It's not. He vanishes. So don't get attached to Will Patton. He's gone until the last 2 minutes. Legit. So Lori's daughter meets Corey, who's at this point being bullied by, wait for it, band geeks. Legit getting bullied by band geeks. No, it's fucking so bad, dude. They're like picking on this kid and they push him over. He cuts his hand on the glass. He goes to the hospital. Allison works as she stitches him up. And Allison's looking for some dick. So she's super aggressive, like, hey, we should go out. And he's like, I don't want to. Like, yeah, you're going to go out. So they go out, have a good time. He's like, he looks like he's having a seizure on the floor, but I think he's dancing. I don't know. I can't fucking tell you. White people, dude. I don't know. Shit was wild. So then he gets up. He goes over to the bar to get a drink. He's smiling, laughing. And who's sitting there at the bar? The mom of the kid that he killed. And she's upset. She's angry. How do you get to have a good time? All this bullshit. Blah, 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 blah. Angry stuff. And then he leaves. Allison's upset. He goes off running. He gets picked on by the band geeks again. Then he falls off the overpass. And underneath the overpass, there's some tunnels. He runs through the tunnels. This is an hour into the movie, mind you. An hour into the movie. Guess what I haven't mentioned yet? Michael Myers.
Yeah, I was going to say, where's Michael?
We get him 54 minutes into the movie. He encounters Michael. Michael grabs him by the throat, transferring some bullshit, some dumb shit. Whatever it is, it was dumb. Now suddenly Michael sees his soul. I don't know, it was really dumb. So suddenly this guy becomes a killer. He just starts killing people. It's like him and Michael are like a team now, and they're killing people together. Almost to the point too. I think he like smacked Michael, or he like pushed him down or some shit. It was dumb. Michael fought a mob of people in the last movie. He just got beat up by a dude. One dude who gets beat up by band geeks. Then there's a scene, like, there's a doctor at the hospital. He fucks one of the secretaries. She gets promoted to head nurse or some shit. I don't fucking know. Some dumb shit. Michael kills both. Or no, Corey kills the doctor, and then Michael kills the chick. They're a team. Corey has a motorcycle, too. I'm going to put up a picture. It's fucking great. It's Corey on the motorcycle with Michael hugging him. This is fucking fantastic. And then we get to, like, the final showdown 2 hours later. Finally, Lori and Michael come face to face. Actually, the second best part of the movie, when they have that final showdown. That was good. That was really good. Then the movie ends. Michael killed Corey. Lori killed Michael. Finn. This fucking movie is trash. So I gave it a 5 when I gave the original review. I'm going to give it a fucking... I can't even give it a 1. Yo, this movie's... There's so many people like, I really liked it. It was really fucking good. And that's cool. Like, everyone's... I think the people who are saying they like it, they just want to be different. They're like, I want to be different. It's like... So Clerks stuck with the essence of Clerks. Through and through. This had nothing to do with Halloween at all. If they started the movie off with Lori and Michael having the final showdown, and then Lori kills Michael, and then somehow this kid goes through the shit he goes through, and he becomes a killer, that is a better movie. Instead, this kid kills some kid who deserved it. That's fucked. But that kid was a shit. Like, you still gotta watch it just to see how bad it is. It's so bad I'm gonna watch it again when you guys leave.
Yeah, some of those bad movies. That's all bitch ass. It's like
no. Bitch ass sounds all right.
But no, the first half of bitch ass where I rent it and I'm watching a bear, she has no more interest in it, and I can't blame her. I tried to pump it up, like it's probably. I mean, it got good reviews in terms of the user reviews.
That's
And
the
I
most
was like,
important thing.
and then I was like, yeah, this is bad. But then I watched I was like, I gotta finish it.
Okay,
The second half is significantly better than the first
you got to be
half.
careful with user reviews, especially when it's a black movie, because black folks will cheer for anyone black. We'll give it a 10, no matter how bad it is.
So the acting in the
because
beginning,
they black.
like I said, the first 3 people that die are the worst actors in the movie. So then once they're gone, it starts to get significantly better. I had 2 movies, but I'm gonna just talk about one since we're late.
Yeah, I think I'm done.
Because we got one more beer to review.
Okay.
And I feel one of them's hard to describe. So I'll describe this one. Luckiest Girl Alive. I think that was trending on Netflix.
Yeah. I want to see that.
Mila Kunis.
Hey, don't spoil it because I'm going to watch that next week.
I'll try. So it
Just don't
stars
tell me who dies.
It stars Mila, and she is working at kind of like a gossip type newspaper, but she wants to be a legit journalist.
No such thing.
But she's sort of known because she was a survivor of a school shooting, and the school shooting, you don't know to the end what actually happens, but she is accused by one of the survivors to being part of it.
I got that much from the trailer.
So, yeah, I'm trying to dance around and give it away. Some shit happened to her when she was a teenager. The guy that accused she was part of it did some shit to her. The dude who was the shooters probably was on her side.
The dude that was the
There's
shooters.
2 of them.
Okay.
2 of them.
So I was just like,
2 shooters.
That's not good English.
But one of them was get a little bit for her, but she ends up stabbing that shooter to stop him because he was out of control.
Fair.
So then she's looked at by some as a hero, but then there's a rumor she also was a part of the shooting. And then it's her as an adult. So her trying to explain her story, and then she gets brave at the end, is that she tells exactly what happened.
She's so brave.
Yeah, and it was fucked up what happened to her though.
I kind of gather that.
And she was like by the way, she was like comes from a more poor background. She's in a rich school, and all the dudes she's going to school with, she's doing it's like the Duke lacrosse team type situation.
So I have that on my list. I saw the trailer, I want to say back in like July. And I was like, I'm in for this. I'm in. And then when I saw it was up. Funny thing is, when I saw it was up, I was like, I bet you Steve watched this.
Like I didn't pick out to watch it.
Like,
but
no bullshit. I was like, I got it. Because Mila. That's why I was like, Steve's going to watch this. Steve's going to watch it because of Mila. Now, I do want to see it. And the funny thing about it, and I say this about a lot of movies, predictable or not, there's still a story in the middle. All of the stuff that you just said is like, I already know it without seeing it. It's all like everything from the trailer is very, very predictable on how the story goes out. But I'm sure there's more detail within the sandwich. But I'm definitely still in for it. Give it a score.
7. So it's like it's a good made for TV movie. You do not watch it in the theater.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. That's why Netflix had it.
Yeah. It's it's entertaining. It's maybe not a 7. That's tough. Yes, I think 7's good.
It feels like a 7. It feels like a 7 movie.
6 to 7.
Yeah, it felt that way.
It's worth a watch, especially now. There's nothing great to watch, really.
Well, that's like looking in the fridge and saying there's no food and there's tons of shit in the fridge. There's tons of stuff to watch. It just depends on what you're hungry for, because there's a lot of good content. You just got to be into it. Terrifier 2. There's lots of blood and guts. No real story, but funsies. Art the Clown. It's fun. He's fun. Scary, but funny. It's like Freddy Krueger on steroids, basically. Like a charismatic killer. But yeah, I'm in for that. Barbarian.
Yeah.
That hits HBO on the 25th, so I'm going to check that out next week.
Okay, so yeah, I have HBO Max.
I'm so fucking excited.
Because I thought about watching that in the theater.
Well, I was gonna text you because we were talking about going to see Smile last weekend. I was like, dude, I don't have the energy. Like, just Friday was a fucking goofy day. Like we're watching Halloween, I was really emotional. Like so we all sat down here and we watched it and turned off the lights and everything. Like my rule is like we're watching it in the dark, don't fucking talk. 15 minutes. All right, that rule's over. Start the jokes. Let's go with the jokes. I need jokes now. Then recording. So the thing with recording about it. So I gotta change my format for the horror podcast. This is just like. So, and this was kind of a thing when we recorded the one episode over at your house too. When we have multiple people on the mic, like I gotta have more control over the scene, which I did. I went into it. And I said, look. We can't be over talking each other. It's a lot easier to hear because we're in person, so the mics aren't as bad. But over talking each other during it just gets chaotic. And everyone did a pretty good job for the most part. But it's like, I don't know, man. I got to change it up because I set the schedule for 2023 for So You Like Horror. I'm ahead on that joint because we're going to do horror by the decades, and I picked up some other themes. I just got to get the cast together for it and find like the people that are going to fill in for what spots. It's like I think I need new people. Like I love having my wife on, but she don't really like have much to offer. She's just like, I'm here, but I don't really want to talk about it. And I was like, bitch, you're lucky we made it 22 years.
It's a good thing she doesn't listen to this podcast. She clearly doesn't.
Yeah, she refuses to listen to this show. She's like, I don't want to hear anything you have to say. I was like, trust me, I don't want you to hear it either. Like, it's bad. It's really bad.
They used to come, but I'm pretty sure she feels the same.
So she surprised me. She listened to a couple So You Like Horror episodes. I was like, oh. I was like, I got to think, which one did you listen to? You didn't listen to the one with Marilyn Phil, right? Because I said some wild shit on that one. Because I like to say wild shit to Marilyn Phil to catch him off guard. Like, if he's just chilling, he's telling a story, and I'm like, I put my finger in my butt. And he's like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, caught you, bitch.
Oh, shit, overtime.
Man, we've been in overtime for a long time.
No, but we just got a field goal. I don't know. Is it final?
Yeah, that's final because it says final.
So, I guess Broncos must have had the ball because it was a field goal.
Yeah, they both had a chance.
So they both have the ball. Broncos muff the punt and
because they suck.
Oh,
Chargers.
that's how we won.
Within the 30 and just kicked the field goal to win.
Damn. So Denver got their $130 million. Was he? No, 230.
Yeah, 230. God damn, that dude sucks.
God damn, they just losing left and right.
Yeah, Denver sucks. I think this was the year. I was like, the AFC West is going to be tough.
Nothing's worse when you get a quarterback like that and then he's in the commercial going, let's ride. Like, you can't even get behind them. Like, you know what I was thinking though? I think it was just we got to end this real quick. But
yeah,
real quick is Christian McCaffrey's available and Washington's one of the rumored teams. I was like, that's the one guy we could get that we could actually sell some jerseys.
Yeah, but
and it's fucked up. Why? White running backs, it's like the great white hype in boxing.
Riggs.
You're going to be like, oh, Christian McCaffrey's in Washington? His jersey's going to sell like crazy. But no, he would actually be a good pickup because I honestly don't. I kind of like Gibson, but I don't think Brian
I think he'd be a good pickup, but I think he would get mangled.
Well, and the other thing is it'd be Ron Rivera trying to beat Carolina again. That had the 1 year when Cam would run for. I mean, Cam was ridiculous that year, but he wasn't like a quarterback.
I mean, he was more
he was like a fullback playing quarterback.
Oh, true.
Because he wasn't like Lamar style running. Yeah, he was running people over.
I mean, it wasn't like. I mean, he had a lot of rushing yards that year. I think
he had a lot of rushing touchdowns.
I think he led as a quarterback, but
he never learned to be a pocket passer.
He was nothing like Lamar or fucking Justin or Josh Allen is leading his team in rushing. I mean,
what's wild about Josh Allen?
By a lot.
That first, Buffalo. Oh, McCaffrey is rumored. The number one target is Buffalo. If he goes to Buffalo, it's game over.
If he goes to Buffalo, good night.
Because they don't have a running back. But
yeah, and he can run and catch.
Yo, are they interviewing the kicker? That sucks.
Yeah, that's someone's granddad.
I was about to say that. don't think I've ever seen the kicker be interviewed
Justin
first.
Tucker gets interviewed all the time. He got interviewed when he won that the game versus Cincinnati.
Yeah, that's different. That was Justin Tucker.
But he missed last week and he hit the post. That shit was funny as hell.
That makes me happy, dude.
Whenever Justin Tucker misses, he looks at the goalpost like, huh?
Dude, like, man. Who's watching
what is
this week?
As much as we diss the Ravens and Justin Tucker is a lock to make Hall of Fame first year.
Yeah, he's
Like, he's going to be the first kicker that just makes it the first year.
like, in Vinatieri? Is Vinatieri in?
I don't think he's in, but he probably will be. His playoff success is ridiculous.
Yeah, he should be. I mean, he's been
If
retired.
he's not in, but I don't know that he's in.
I haven't been keeping track of the Hall of Fame in the last, 3 years, I think.
I think Tucker's going to be the first kicker that's, like, in first year eligible.
Let's see here. What are our stats here? I forgot what the question was.
Who is this guy even?
Will Adam Vinatieri be first ballot Hall of Famer? This was in 2021.
So
he will be eligible in 2025. So I think Vinatieri is going to be first ballot. Off.
I mean, you kind of
that's wild. So wow.
teams.
So I guess he. I thought he was retired for a while. I guess he never filled out his papers. He was just hanging out like, hey, I want to play for the Colts. And they're like, yeah, we had you. Like, we're tired of you. I want to play for the Panthers. Yeah, we don't want you either.
He was still accurate as hell his last few years. He just couldn't kick anything over 50.
Yeah, I mean, tomato, tomato.
Oh, damn, that was a good nice kick. Almost got blocked.
All right.
Oh, he got knocked down, too.
All right, let's go ahead and rate this real quick.
All right, so we got a bonus review. Crab Anor. Like, Crab Narak. It's hard to read this font. Hey, this font is...
You're illiterate is
No.
what it is. Yes,
This
you
font
are.
is messed up.
Like, did you have to take,
So it's by
did you have to take an extra English class?
Crooked Crab Brewing. Yeah, but I got A's in both and I got a scholarship.
Yeah, but you still have to take an extra English class, you dumb bitch.
True.
I think I did too, but we're not talking about me. We're talking about you.
Crooked Crab Brewing Company.
Okay, you can read that.
Sounds like SpongeBob made it. So it's a New
a
England,
sponge.
and I don't have this one, queued up.
It
with
doesn't
what
matter.
it is. But
Give me
this
what
one,
you
the
got.
can. That's why I
like
chose
the
this
can.
one. Is the can has a lot of information.
I like the can because it's colorful. Rainbows. Cause
It's in Odenton, Maryland. They gave it 3 stars.
Odenton around the corner, son. What's up? That's home.
And infinitely hop forward and hazy. So I will say this: it's definitely more hop than a beer we've had in a while.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
meaning more bitter for sure.
It's
It's got a little bit of a grapefruit, but it's more bitter than fruity.
It's got the bitter, but there's a kick behind that bitter. So I'm enjoying it actually.
And it's at 8.5%, and it says get infinite responsibly.
8.5.
So it does give you a. It gives you a
boy.
nice warning.
Oh, I'm gonna get this
Wait,
one.
this does say Great Odin's Raven, brewed with a hefty dose of oats and wheat for a full creamy body and hopped with copious amounts of Enigma, Mosaic, and Revolution blend
Dude, you're making shit
for a
up.
thunderous taste
You're
that
making all these
may
words up.
just bring about the end of Asgard. That's rude, because I thought we were for Asgard.
Roll Ragnarok brought the end of Asgard. Right.
I don't taste the creamy part.
Do you know anything about your fucking namesake?
Crooked
No,
crab.
you don't.
There's no
Dick.
crabs. There's no cream.
I'm such a child. All right. So I like it. I actually, you know what, Neppers? I like this. I would buy this. actually. I would buy this.
You just became Neppers now.
I would buy this off the can, number one. But the bitter,
The bitter's strong.
the bitter's not
It's
offset. It's not off-putting for sure.
Every time you say that,
Yeah.
I think of the video of Zach. Have you
should
seen
be
it?
off-putting.
Zach
'Cause you're
Galifianakis and it's my girl.
Jennifer
Jennifer
dude, that
Lawrence.
shit is so good.
Never seen it. So he does a thing called Between the
Yeah.
Ferns,
Yeah.
and he interviews her, and he says something like, "That's off-putting," and then she just looks at him. You should be off-putting because you're fat.
Yeah, he was like, no, she goes, he said something about a diet. He was like, no, she called him, like, said something. He was like, you shouldn't say that. It's off-putting. You should be off-putting. And then there's this pause, just, Because you're fat. It's the pause does it, dude. Because you don't know that it's coming. It's just like you should be off putting. You think like he's just gonna say something like, because you're fat. God damn, dude.
Which maybe like Jennifer Lawrence even more.
Yeah, it's so funny.
She fried him.
Yeah. I've been saying off putting a lot lately, and as soon as I say, I'm like, dude, because you're fat. But no, like the bitter doesn't bother me because there's a sweet right behind it. It's like they timed it. I think they knew. I'm gonna. Ugh.
This is a tough one for me because it's an 8.5.
Yeah, that 8.5 really helps too. That 8.5 really helps because I'm gonna try to put this episode out so it comes out in the morning, but I'm gonna be honest. I've been drinking wine. We've had some good beers at that pizza.
It is curious why it's called Crab in the Rock. There's definitely no crab taste.
I'm gonna go out and fuck and like get some crabs.
There's not supposed to be any crab taste.
Well, that was my concern.
It's probably just the manufacturer of crooked crab.
That was my concern because when he said like crab, I was like, oh, you're gonna have that fucking Old Bay taste to it. Like I'm out.
No spice taste. No, it's more bitter than anything if you're going to describe the first taste.
Yeah, that bitter hits you first, but then after a few...
It's like a grapefruit.
Yeah, the grapefruit for sure. I'm going to go 7.2. That's the theme of the night for me, 7.2. Except for that first beer. Ugh, kinky.
Did you go 7.2 though?
I like 7.2 because I buy it.
Oh, 6.8. 7.2, 7.2.
Yeah.
Dang, this one's tough for me.
Would you buy it? If not, then it's not a 7.
It's close, yeah. I'm going to say 6.
I was going to say 6.9.
6.9.
6.9 is available.
But that gives it a 7 overall.
I was going to say
7.1.
So should I go 7.1?
Well, you went 7.2. We can give it a 7.0 if you feel like it's just a 7.
I like even numbers. I'll go 7.1.
This is the first downgrade of a beer.
But the thing
normally
is,
going up, but
it's still good. I like it.
Yeah, no,
I just want to I want to make math easier for you because I know you can't read.
Well, I think the biggest thing with this is it's a tad on the bitter side.
But you don't get the sweet after?
I don't.
You're a dick. Then you just drink from the can like a fucking savage. Wait, how much more is left?
None.
Bitch.
I'm enjoying the alcohol percentage, but yeah, I mean, compared to the other beers we had tonight, especially the first ones where we had a 9.5%, and I gave that a 7.7. So yeah, that
was a little aggressive. Relax.
No, but this is very
relax. That's 7.7.
It's quite bitter. I think if you had a nice get this slash.
Yo, how did you just miss the glass, you dick?
I poured the glass. Look,
you
taste that though.
Glass.
Taste that. Tell me that's not very bitter.
Because it's a small sip.
No, but just taste it.
Can you get like?
Yeah, well, that's what our producers for.
I don't know that I have paper towels.
I'm just gonna grab the toilet paper. It's not that big.
Oh.
I got a wipe here.
Taste that last sip.
Because Steve's a retarded retard, so.
Yes.
Dude, how did you miss the glass, yo?
I mean, you saw the glass was over it.
The glass was under it.
I drank the 2 of the victories, though. It's bitter.
It's bitter off the first, like off that little sip. I need more to it.
Well, no, I mean, I don't get the sweetness after. I get the bitter.
I get the sweet afterwards, but that's like a grapefruit.
But it's almost a 7, so I'm going to be honest. Like, would I buy it? No.
So no, I think your score is fair. I just think the first one was still not.
But it's like I enjoy the feeling. If you're gonna give it to me, I'm like, I like
no,
it.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm not gonna buy it.
If I show up to a party and it's there, it's a party. If I'm in a rush, like going to Skullfest, and I see that motherfucker, I'm buying it. And that's the thing. The can stands out though.
It does have the Ragnarok theme with a crab though. Same lettering. And it's Odington. We've probably only had 1 or 2 from Odington.
Have we had that many?
We have, but not by this brand. I don't think.
I guess I should take the Clorox. I got some new microphones. Gotta wipe them down. Not for this, for like karaoke and shit. So Instagram, the 13th was the cutoff date. So I got some more money coming through. I'm probably get some new microphones. Or at least I'm gonna start. I'm gonna get one new microphone. I gotta wait to get the other one because they're like $200. So those are exclusively for us. Nobody else gets to use them. Fuck them. But also, so for the November 27th,
The week of Thanksgiving.
that the rest, Washington game,
The Commanders, son.
the Washington game. So there was not a single ticket in our section. Now, granted, we'll probably be able to move around anyway. We can run a risk of getting Brett a ticket.
Well, I'll ask him. I think he would want to go.
Well, he has to go because he has to drive. Because we're all getting fucked up.
You got to for a Commanders.
I'm getting.
What's wild is Atlanta got screwed the other
I-
week, and Atlanta's playing people. Yo, what's his name? Mariota threw one incomplete pass.
I gotta ask my wife to take the Monday off. Shit, I gotta work that Monday. I just want her to be off that. We gotta record that night.
What is Atlanta's record, by the way?
3-3. That's a guess.
But they got screwed versus New England because remember
So
they
2-4.
just tackled Brady
Let's say 2-4.
with the ball.
That
and
was
they
New
called
England. That was Tampa.
Tampa, sorry. But they called it roughing the passer when it was. If he threw the ball, I would agree with that. But the fact that he got sacked, no. But yeah, Mariota's. He's a weird quarterback. I think he was 14 for 15.
Wasn't he the number 1 pick or was he number 2?
What was he? He was kind of like Tua, where he was thought to be injury prone, where I think he slipped.
No, he was 1 or 2. He was the top. He was in the top 2, for sure.
So he was Tennessee, right?
Yeah. Where's he at now? Atlanta.
Yeah.
They're 3-3. Lucky guess. Told you.
But Atlanta could have. I mean, they're probably going to win versus Tampa Bay, but they would have had a chance. A good chance. Brady got a ridiculous rule.
Yo, this phone be listening like shit. I typed in MAR and it went to Marcus Mariota immediately. You motherfucker. Amazon chill or Google chill.
And they're running a weird offense where they're not letting him throw the ball a lot. But
He was drafted 2nd overall.
damn.
Told you. Don't doubt me, bitch. But who was first that year? I can't
And
remember.
then they picked up.
Jameis Winston was first. That's what it was.
He's my favorite.
Dude, every time I get a text from you, I already know.
He's
it's
my
coming.
favorite quote.
Like as
person
soon as I
in
see it's
life.
a video, it's like it's definitely Jameis Winston. What the fuck did he say this week?
Might steal this beer.
What's that?
Taste it.
It's,
There's a little.
No,
It's-
Jameis Winston might steal it. Crab legs?
yeah, this
Oh,
motherfucker's a thief like a motherfucker.
There was a video I watched recently of just him being interviewed by, not Jim, John Harbaugh. And it was kind of like a draft prep thing.
I vaguely remember
Where
that.
they're talking like, and it's just like, have you ever been in trouble in school? And he talks about one time he got suspended in high school for something. I think it's for laughing at the coach. Then he said in college it was something else for like standing on the table. And then Harbaugh, the Michigan coach, not John. So Jim, right? Yeah, Jim was like, why aren't you mentioning the crab leg incident? And he's just like, I didn't really do anything. I got crabs for free. And he was just like, yeah,
You stole
but
them.
this is a big story. And if you're being interviewed by teams, so I think it was one of those things where it's like trying to help future quarterbacks in this thing. And he's like, you got to talk about it. Like, you not mentioning it sounds like you're guilty.
You don't have
So
to
he was
talk
like-
about it.
But he was like, okay. But I mean, because it was in the news, like the fact that he didn't even mention, like, because he was like, did you ever get in trouble with the police? He never mentioned that because that was in trouble by the police.
I always feel like questions like that are loaded questions because it's like, bitch, you know. Why are you asking?
But his answer was true. It was like,
Eat a dick.
I went there 2 weeks before. The owners told me I could have whatever I want. It was my friend's birthday. I went out with some crab legs. But then when I left the place, the security guard was like, you stole them.
I don't do crabs at all. I didn't know that was some shit you go eat crabs and then take home a doggy bag. I didn't know that was a thing.
But
Maybe it's different in Florida.
I bet it's what it was is Winston got hooked up his first time and thought he just gets hooked up every time.
That's true. That is true.
And then didn't say anything. Just walked out like, nah, I'm not paying for that. And remember, I get shit free. Yo, there's a funny interview I saw with, who was it? Some big receiver. And they were basically saying, it was Barstool Sports, but they're like, how much did you get paid at Alabama? And he was just like, he was like, I didn't get paid. But then he's like, and then they kept on like pressuring him. And then they asked him again. It's like, yeah, but how much did you get paid for Alabama? Because we know you got something. And he kind of like slipped and was like, well, I got, nah, I didn't get paid.
So here's a fun fact, because I like looking at birthdays. Mariota was born in 93, so we were going into high school that year. Halloween, or the day before Halloween in 93.
Damn, he was born then?
So, but here's another thing. Jameis Winston was born on January 6th of 94. And then he won a national title on January 6th of 2014. I think that's beautiful.
He won
a national title.
Did he win
on his
Heisman?
birthday. Yes, he was also the Heisman winner and the number 1 overall pick. That he got the trifecta. National
So
title.
I will say this: as much
Heisman
as I make
and
fun
number
of
1.
his interviews, I did see one where it was what's the dude who used to be coach for San Francisco then Detroit?
Mariucci?
Yeah. Where Mariucci used to interview the rookie quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And Winston did sound super smart in terms of drawing up the play. Like, he knew exactly. He was, like, drawing up, and he was like, this is where you go here, this is where you go here. I was pretty impressed. Like, he was better than most people, but he just seems like one of those people that tries to be cool but is so unaware of how uncool he is. Like, when he did – the thing that drives me most nuts about him is when he did this, the licking his fingers with the W, and he's like, what's this? What's this? And it was so gross looking. He's like, that's a W. Who wants to eat a W? And everyone was looking at him like, that's kind of gross.
I think what he is, he's going to be, when he's older, he's going to be that old dude, the old cat in the neighborhood. It's like, there's some wisdom in there. You just got to find it.
He's smart, and he does play very well at times. When he was with Tampa, that man threw for 3 interceptions the first half, but that second half, he was 400 yards, 4 touchdowns.
He was always throwing like 300, 400 yards and 4 touchdowns, but he throw you 4 interceptions. It was like...
It was always the first half, though. That second half, he was
like,
beast.
I can't trust this dude. But nah, like, I think he's that dude that, like, he knows football. He understands football. We were just about this at work, because, like, the chick that looked like Angela Bassett, she's pretty, and she's got it together, book smarts, but common sense ain't there.
Yeah,
and we went to school. We went to school with a few of those, and I saw one of their names come up in storage recently. I don't know if you remember, but starts with an M, and it was like she was book smart. She was kind of dumb in common sense. And I think Jameis Winston is that same way. He knows football, but
he studies. He knows.
If you say,
can
you tie your shoes? He probably can't tie his shoes.
Yeah, he's a goofy mofo.
But I would hang out with him. I think he's a nice guy. So
I need to steal some crabs for you.
I enjoy that though. I don't even eat crabs, but I enjoy the idea that he was stealing for me.
But yeah, so, I always think about that. Who would be fun to hang out with in the NFL? Odell Beckham's probably fun. Oh wait, he might come on to you, but no, he's a partier. He's a partier.
And the gay AF stands.
Let's see.
I mean,
no, because who
when
else?
Was on that boat trip, the Giants ain't been right since.
Who else partied? No, that was Minnesota. The boat trip.
No, that was definitely New York.
Yeah, that was Odo.
Yep. Yeah, well, Minnesota had the cruise.
They had one, but when like that video when they're like singing "Sexual Healing," and Odell's like leading the charge.
Well, I'm just trying to think of who goes out.
I don't know. I don't
Plaxico Burress used to go out with his gun.
Yeah, I'm not hanging out with him. He went to Michigan State. That's the qualifier.
But what NFL player we try to hang out with at the bar?
At the bar?
Because there's a lot that aren't going to do anything.
Russell Wilson?
Yeah, like that would be the worst to hang out with. Carson Wentz is a Bible lover.
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh, yo, the picture, yo. Oh,
wait,
my God.
Aaron Rodgers. No, well, he'll be fun.
Mushrooms.
Yeah, he'll do some mushrooms with you.
No, that boat trip, son, with Odell. This shit is wild.
What
Yo.
what's his name? Pittsburgh.
Roethlisberger?
No,
He's
receiver,
a rapist.
The receiver.
I'm not
It's
hanging
crazy.
out with him.
The crazy ass receiver for Tampa Bay too.
Oh, Antonio Brown?
Yeah, he'd be wild.
No, I'm not hanging out with him.
He'd be like hanging out with our former friend.
I'm
Like
not
this is
hanging out with
wild.
him. That dude ain't right.
No, you seen like some old clips came up with him when he was like up and coming with Ben. He was like super humble. Like it's an honor to play with Ben Roethlisberger. Like
Yeah,
it's an
I mean,
honor
he's
that he
young.
considers me one of the best receivers. And then because there's a lot of rumors that part of why he is the way he is the CTE.
Yeah.
Because he got rocked that one year. I forget who it was by.
Yeah,
but he
the dude
got
off the
rocked.
Bengals, like cleaned his.
And then
flock.
after then was when he was like cocky as hell. So maybe he does. I mean, it seems like he's a. Because what was he doing recently? He was all freaking naked in the pool, jumping up, trying to show his shit.
I mean, I'd hang out with Terrell Owens.
But he doesn't seem like a partier. He won't drink.
What about the punter that does the podcast?
Oh,
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Pat
McAfee.
McAfee would be
Oh yeah, I hang out
top.
with McAfee.
Yeah, McAfee would be
Well, he
great.
just got a new job. He just got a new job somewhere.
His podcast is great.
I don't got time to listen to his podcast. I got my own. I got 3 of my own. I got to listen to.
But I mean, he rocked people as a punter.
Yeah,
He definitely
like it.
Sebastian Janikowski.
I'm not hanging out with him.
Yeah, can you imagine drinking with him? He'd just be like, "You
No.
guys fucking suck."
No, I'm not getting date raped. So you can roofie me? Fuck
He'd be
no.
like, "This is 9.5%." He'd be like, "And?"
You're like, here, add a little razzle
He'd be
dazzle.
like, "I'm
Take
drinking a
these."
bottle of vodka."
Yo, that dude is wild. Jeff Vanderjag? He was always getting fucking sauced up too. I think Peyton Manning called him out. After he called him out, Peyton was like, "Yeah, a kicker just decided to go get drunk and run his mouth on the radio." I was like, "All right, I want to hang out with that dude. Fuck you, Peyton. I want to hang out with Jeff."
I guess there's not. There's not too many like fun NFL.
Nah, they suck.
Because they're pretty strict in that.
They're fucking losers. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this up.
Did we rate this beer?
Oh,
We did.
I rated
We
it.
did. It got
Oh,
a 7 overall because you went down, but
All right, fine. Take
it
it
got
back
a
to
7. No, it got a 7. It got a 7
All right.
overall.
Then fucking relax.
And I'll go with my 3 idiots review next year. I mean next. week.
All right, let's go ahead and get the fuck out of here. It's
Gave you a
late.
bonus beer.
I gotta put this.
It's
Oh, it perfectly landed 2.5 hours on midnight.
damn.
All right, so let's go ahead and wrap up. So, thanks everybody as usual for listening. Y'all got any questions, concerns, criticisms, suggestions for beers? Reach out to us. I can be found at bjj.wiki on Instagram. None of y'all reach out to me, so fuck y'all. Steve's at Thor.Bentley on Instagram. Y'all probably reach out to him though, because he's like
I only got
responsible.
one.
Yeah, we
Last week.
Did I tell you the one dude who has been trying to send us the marketing stuff?
Oh yeah, I looked at it.
So-
because I hadn't been on for a little bit because of the COVID.
So he sent his final message, and I was going
It
to
was
reply
kind of
to him.
threatening.
I was going to reply to him. I was like, no. I mean, it's cool and all, but first off, he's going to want money, and I'm not trying to give him no money, number one. And number two, I just think the way that we do it is like, it's us. It's not, like, if we told someone else to do it, they're going to do it in their way, and they're like, oh, this is what moves the needle. Okay, well, I like to do what represents us, even if it's not good. So,
I got a compliment last week. I think one of your friends reposted our shit, so it was a good episode.
probably, I don't know. I don't pay attention. I got other podcasts to worry about.
We had a repost, and it was like good
I'm not,
episode.
I'm not worried about this podcast.
That's rude, but what was I gonna say?
This is the
Oh,
funnest podcast.
Since
Sure.
Aaron's here, real quick before we end,
His name's Neppers.
what week is this? Week 5,
6,
6?
probably 5.
Super Bowl, go.
Super Bowl.
Well, we did our Super Bowl picks, but I didn't put the episode out because you're
So
drunk.
at week 6.
I'm gonna go Bills.
Patriots.
I'm trying to think of NFC teams.
That'd be hilarious. Like,
I
I'm
don't
gonna
think
guess
anyone
you.
in the NFC is like outstanding right now.
Besides the best record in the NFL, the Eagles.
No, I'm gonna go Bills, Minnesota.
Okay.
I like it.
I don't like it because that's what I was gonna go, but I'll change it.
Well, I have on recording that you said Miami and Minnesota.
Well, I mean, we could change. Well,
But you're
Miami has 2 less quarterbacks.
But you're several glasses of scotch into that question.
But I'm gonna keep with Minnesota.
I like it.
And I'm gonna go. Well, everyone Buffalo. I'm gonna go Kansas City then. Kansas City, Minnesota, because those teams could go back and forth.
Yeah, true. I hate both of them. So,
Detroit.
duh. Detroit and Miami. Fuck y'all. Um,
I liked Miami until both of their quarterbacks got hurt.
I got family in Miami. That's why I cheer for Miami. That's why it's tough for me to say Buffalo. So I guess I'll go Buffalo. Buffalo is the AFC representative. And the NFC representative, let's see what teams we got. Ugh, wow.
The NFC doesn't look
The
great.
West looks terrible. The East, yeah, I mean, the East has the best shot of anyone. So there's got to be someone from the East. And I would never say Dallas. And New York is fake right now. So I'm going to go Philly. I'm going to say Philly.
So,
Even though I just said no.
so we got 2 Minnesota, 1 Eagles, and then we got 2 Buffalo and 1 Kansas City.
Yeah, write it down, bitch. Because you know I'm not going to play this back to listen to it. And after my teams make it, I want my money.
And probably the Super Bowls will mean none of these. Like,
The Super Bowl is going to be like New Orleans and fucking Indianapolis. It's like, well, fuck, that's trash.
Atlanta's playing people tough somehow. Atlanta,
Yeah,
they're not going to make it.
Yeah, you know they're just going to choke. Like, no matter where they are. Oh, yeah. All right, so yeah.
See, I like Buffalo, but I can't do the exact same pick.
No, well, why not?
But I like Kansas City in a rematch because it's hard to imagine either of those teams winning two in a row.
It was a close game. And, well, so the history has said every 27 years those two play in the AFC Championship game. It's already happened, so we can't get them again until 25 years from now. So that's just so you know.
All right, so there we go.
All right. So anyhow, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, Steve's at Thor.Bentley on Instagram. Collectively, we're on Colompton.
On
Social
OnlyFans?
Club. Oh, not yet. I'm working on it. Colompton Beer Club on Instagram. Yeah, these beers were good. And this wine was good too.
Definitely good percentages today.
Yeah, I'm feeling it right now. So, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up. Y'all got any questions, concerns? You know where to reach us. Otherwise, thank you as always. We appreciate the support. We love you all. And as I say on all other podcasts, you keep listening. We'll keep making these. Bye, Stevie.
Good soup.
Bye,
Aaron.
bitch.